Friday Sports Fix here on Radio Free Charlotte. I'm Travis Durkinson alongside my co-host Ed Nizer. We've got a full day of sports talks for you here on the Radio Free Charlotte. What's going on, my man?
It's a lot of free agency talk and there's some Charlotte headlines as well. And we'll talk about that. I don't know, what do you want to get started with today? You want to get with the free agency, or do you want to stay after the end of the show? It's up to you.
There's way too much NFL news now to not talk about that first. I mean, we got Tebow, we got Manning, we got. It's endless, really.
Yeah, you really, and Patriots made some big moves. Panthers have a couple players coming in.
Yes, sir.
Both our teams doing some big things over the offseason, but that Tim Tebow going to the New York Jets, I don't know how I feel about that. They said he had a say in the whole contract negotiations, but I don't buy it. I don't buy it, Travis.
I don't think the Broncos really care what Tim Tebow wants.
No, they don't. And
if I'm Elway, I don't care.
I think Elway is trying to replace himself, I guess, by putting a Peyton Manning in there to get more fans in the gates.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what it is. But I like Peyton Manning a lot. We've mentioned that we have an intense bromance with Peyton Manning on the show.
Bromance, yes, I do.
But I like him in Denver. I think he'll do good things for them. I think one of the offensive linemen, the offensive left guard, came out and talked about how it's going to be different with Peyton. Practice is going to go a little bit longer because Peyton is perfectionist. We all know that.
Yeah.
It's going to go a lot longer, and he's going to have to get the cadence down. But I think, you're going to laugh at this, but Coach Fox, I think he's going to let Peyton run the offense. Fox is more of a defensive coach anyway.
Defensive guy. I don't see why they would ever give him any say in it.
So I think it's a good fit for Peyton. I honestly do.
Well, we'll get into that. We got Tebow stuff, like we said. We got Saints, the Bounty Gate. We got to get into that. We got Shaka Smart turning down jobs, NCAA tournament stuff, other news and notes. It's going to be a stack check. I would not be surprised if we're here until 3:30.
No, I wouldn't either. I've already cleared out my little Palm Pilot that I don't have because I don't keep schedule.
I would be okay with being here that long.
I would too. I mean, talk about this is a lot.
We have plenty of stuff to talk about.
To keep you entertained.
So if you guys out there listen have any thoughts, if you hit us up on our Facebook page, you can call the show 704-687-7151. Give us a shout over here. We'll put you on air. We'll see what you got to think about.
We love to hear from the viewers and listeners.
It makes it a lot easier for us.
We're also working on a video for the Friday Sports Fix Facebook page.
Yeah, we got a video for the Facebook page. We got a YouTube channel now, the Friday Sports Fix YouTube channel.
Yeah, multimedia.
We're doing it
Friday
right.
Sports Fix.
We are doing it right.
We don't have a tech guy. It's just us.
Yeah, eat your heart out, ESPN.
That's right.
Before you know, they're going to be paying for our podcast.
They will be. I've already been in negotiations with them. No, I haven't. I wish I was, but hey.
No, you'd be the worst person to negotiate. You'd be like, you know what, man? I'll take whatever you want to give.
You're going to give me a free coupon to Hardee's? That's cool. I'm hungry. Yeah, that works.
But, I feel you, man. Let's get into it.
All right, let's do it.
Well, let's start with Peyton. Peyton to the Broncos. Yeah. You think it's good for Peyton?
I do.
I think it's good for him. I don't think it's the best. I think I would much rather see him go to San Francisco.
Yeah, I think San Francisco would have been a good fit, but I think part of that is he wanted to stay in the AFC. And the fact that Coach Fox will give him a chance to run the offense like he wants to do. I mean, it's one of those things where it's a best fit for Peyton. I think the Broncos will benefit from it. I mean, as I was talking to the previous host, Kevin, he said that
DJ Special K,
excuse me, Special K. He likes your morning breakfast meal, but I think he's right in saying that Peyton would make he would even make the Tampa Bay Buccaneers or a team like that doesn't have much of a receiving core that much better.
Tampa Bay has an awesome receiving core.
Well, they didn't really do much without a quarterback. But if they had Peyton, I think they'd be a contender. But anyways, the point I'm trying to make is Peyton can go anywhere and make an impact.
An impact, yes, but I don't. This isn't a championship team this year.
No, I don't automatically put Denver as a championship contender, right? Just because they got Peyton Manning. It's kind of stupid. It's like when everybody was trying to get the Miami Heat when they brought in that whole Bosch.
Right.
You can't just say, they're going to automatically win now. No, you can't say that.
No, I like the move for him. I think it's good for him to be under Elway.
Yeah,
another quarterback that won his championships late in his career. I really hope it works out for him.
I do too.
I would have much rather seen him go to San Francisco, where if he would have went there, they'd automatically be a favorite.
Well, I think what I've heard is San Francisco now has to try to make amends with
Alex Smith
because that must be tough for them.
See, that's why I said a couple weeks ago that I wish this drama would go on even longer because the storylines that have come out of
it's ridiculous,
are outrageous with other quarterbacks. You know, like you said with Alex Smith, his feelings were hurt.
Yeah,
I don't blame him.
Were.
My feelings would be hurt as well. So he went to Miami, tried talking to them. They pick up David Garrard. No need for Alex Smith.
I don't know why you picked David Garrard over Alex Smith, but that's just beyond me.
Probably money.
Yeah, Alex Smith probably won a little bit more money after his performance in the playoffs. I mean,
Right, which
natural.
is understandable.
Yeah.
Matt Flynn going to the Seahawks. I did not see that coming.
I like Flynn a lot, and the Hasselbeck now.
How? What do you know about him? I don't know.
Like when he's come in, he's done well. He was only a 1 year starter at USC. I mean, when he filled in for Aaron Rodgers, he did very well. I can't remember his
He
exact.
went to LSU.
Was it LSU?
Yeah,
LSU. Sorry,
he won the
not
national
USC.
championship there. He was
Not
playing the
USC.
game.
My apologies, guys, but LSU. Yeah, I don't know how I got that confused, but my mind's been working in mysterious ways today. I don't know what it is, but we'll pass that. But
Hat's probably too small for that big old head you got.
Yeah, man. I have the old Kevin Mench head. You remember Kevin Mench with the 8 1/4 or whatever that thing was? My God, that's a melon.
Right.
But anyway, let's talk about the details of that contract for Peyton.
Go into it, man. You have it all written down. Let me know.
Yeah, 5 years, $96 million. I don't think Travis and I will ever make that in our lifetime, but if we do,
No way.
We'll shout out to you listeners. You guys made it happen. But $18 million, no injury guarantee. So like he makes $18 million regardless.
Now, the thing with this that I've heard is his contract is very front loaded this year.
It is.
Now, it's very front loaded for. I think it's good for Peyton, and I think they did it too for. They're doing him a favor.
Yeah.
So even if he gets hurt, he still gets this one final big paycheck.
And I think that was a big part of the negotiations with Denver because Peyton. Yeah, I don't even think Peyton's sure he's ready to go 100%. He'll be the first person to tell you that. You never know with a neck injury. You know, it's all nerves up there, and they heal at different rates. As you heard from the doctors leading up, saying is Peyton going to play this past season? They always said people heal in different ways. It all depends on the person. It's really relative, but he gets a guaranteed $40 million the next 2 seasons if healthy, following the physical in March of 2013. He'll make a total of $58 million guaranteed for the first 3 years in Denver.
It's good money.
It's great money. Yeah, I would take that in a heartbeat.
I'm really surprised they gave him a 5-year contract.
Me too. I would have gave him 2, 3 tops.
Yeah, but again, that's probably part of the negotiations.
Yep.
I'd give Peyton Manning whatever the hell he wanted.
Yeah, Peyton's a legend. He's no question gonna be in Canton sometime.
I'd bring him breakfast in bed every day if he asked for it.
I would too. As long as he gave me a couple mil on the side. But that's nothing with that 96 mil.
Do you see them making the playoffs?
Yeah.
Yes,
I do.
too.
I do too. I mean, if they made it with Tebow, Tebow was not much of a throwing quarterback. Oh yeah, no question. They'll go. I'm gonna give a prediction on their record. I'm gonna say anywhere in the 10-6, 11-5 range, and they'll make it and probably win the West.
I'll say 11 wins because it's not a very tough division
No, it
for
isn't.
one. It's definitely better than it has been in the past.
Yeah.
I think the Chiefs are a little more viable. The Raiders with Palmer a little more viable, but they're definitely going to get some wins from him.
Absolutely, and I think Peyton, there's going to be those Tebow supporters at first. They're kind of going to be a little turned off by John Elway bringing in Peyton Manning.
The thing about it, though, is that they have the second toughest schedule in the NFL this year.
That's
Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
It's
no.
all relative.
Yeah.
Let's be real, because there's no telling who's going to be in this year.
I hate when I always take that kind of stuff with a grain of salt when they come out the preseason rankings on schedules. You never know how a team's going to succeed. You sometimes have those teams that were really bad the year before, and they come out. Look at the Detroit Lions. They came back and they got a lot better this year. That's just one of those things where us analysts will talk about it and say, "Oh, this is based on last year's stats," but you never know. You really got to watch all the games and see how everything pans
the Dream
out.
Team fell flat on their face this year, so it's just one of those things where you don't know.
Absolutely.
But I'm pretty pumped. The Broncos are coming to Charlotte this year.
Yeah,
The return of Foxy.
That'd be nice.
Bringing Peyton with him. It's definitely going to be a big story, and I'm excited. I really, it's going to be a circus.
Yeah, it is.
It's going to be something else. But
there'll be a lot of Peyton Manning jerseys in the stands. I mean, I like the Panthers. I'll support the Panthers because I've been living in Charlotte for the past 4 years.
Right.
But I don't like the fans that come and feel like they have to wear a jersey even if they're not a Panthers fan. Like the football fan that comes from
guy
the
wearing a
business.
Redskins fan.
Yeah, Redskins. You see Eli Manning there, and the team's not even. New York's
like
not
it's a
even
football party.
Yeah, it's the same with hockey
It's
too.
not a theme.
Yeah, it's like I have to wear a jersey to the game, or it's not the same. No, just wear a T-shirt. Nobody's going to question you. Blank T-shirt. But that drives me
Or like
nuts.
you, just don't wear a shirt.
Yeah, no shirts, man. No shirt, no shoes.
We're
not going to have any copyright infringement, Kenny Chesney. But I'm not going to start singing. But no, that drives me nuts. But that's a side note.
That's a side.
That's a side note. But
no, we had that written down as a topic to talk about.
oh, we did my hairy body. Anyways,
We won't put pictures of that up.
No, that's borderline. Facebook will ban us and say that's bad. But anyways, no, Tim. We can talk. Want to go Tim Tebow now?
Speaking of a circus. Speaking of a circus, Tebow to the Jets. Your thoughts?
I hate it. Hate it for him. He's one of those guys that, he embraces the media, but I don't think he likes being in the media for the wrong, like for them talking about his race. They're talking about his race now. They're talking about his faith. I hate that. I hate it for Tim. I think he would have been better fit going back to where he played his high school ball and where he's from in Jacksonville. I really do. I really feel like the Jaguars even said they wanted him. They even said they wanted him.
I would have loved to see him go there.
And, it would be great for attendance. They're one of those teams that always is facing blackout restrictions. And, my roommate, an avid Jaguars fan, and he really
I didn't know there was such a thing as an avid Jaguars fan.
He's from Southeast Georgia. It's the closest team to him. And it's it's one of those regional things. He loves the Jaguars, even though they've been on tough times since the '90s when the Patriots beat him in the playoffs.
Right.
And that's all he references. And he hates the tight ends. Hates anybody in the AFC South. But I think Tim Tebow would have made that team, for a little bit more of a force to be reckoned with. It gives them a different dimension, because Blaine Gabbert clearly isn't ready to play at the NFL.
This is what I wanted, and I said this on Facebook. I knew the Jaguars weren't going to do it. They invested too much in Gabbert.
Right.
How awesome would it have been if they just would have traded Gabbert straight up for Tebow?
I would have
been
been
okay
for
both sides.
I think Blaine would have learned under Peyton Manning, and he would have become a better quarterback. Because I think Blaine has what it takes down the road to become a good pro quarterback. He's one of those guys, a late developer, I think.
Just right now, his head is spinning.
Yeah, they threw him into the fire. They had Luke McNown, or how you say his name, whatever. He's a backup.
Starts with Mick, ends in Own.
Yeah, McAown. I'm going to say that. We're going to go with that. Anyways, but no, he got thrown into the fire after they let go of, what's his name? Garrard. Yeah, they let go of Garrard. Now Miami takes him.
Yep.
But I don't know. I didn't like for Blaine being in his rookie season. They say, here you go. Have fun.
I didn't like anything about him coming into the draft.
No, I didn't.
Honestly, I didn't.
Yeah.
I never had
He
it.
looked like a pretty boy. A nice lion man, but
He did have pretty hair.
He did have pretty hair. He used that nice moisturizer or whatever the hell girls use.
Moisturizer.
Whatever girls use in their hair. I use soap. Anyways. But no, I don't like it for Tim going to New York. I don't know. And they say he made the choice. Do you believe that?
No, I don't believe that.
I don't believe that one.
Why in the world would he want to go there?
I wouldn't want to go to New York.
No.
I mean, you know why, but I don't like New York, period. Anyways, but no, I think he'll work with Rex. They're two different types of people. With Rex Ryan being the outspoken foot and mouth. That's a little pun on the whole tape that came out. But anyways, a little
foot fetish joke. I like it.
Yeah, foot fetish joke. But Rex Ryan, I like his like how he's very confident in his team. Because honestly, if I was a head coach, I'd be cocky too. I would too.
Yeah,
that's confidence. I like that. Breeds confidence, but he's a big mouth.
Yeah, there's a difference between being confident and just blatantly ignorant.
Yeah,
and acting like a fool.
I think Tim will do okay in New York. I think he'll fit in well into the packages. They're going to run a package quarterback. Yeah. But I don't know.
As soon as Mark Sanchez throws his first of probably 30 interceptions,
they're gonna call for bring in Tebow. Yeah, it's like Panthers fans when Matt Moore was the quarterback. Bring in Jimmy Clausen. We see how that worked out.
Yeah, I mean it's a mess that they're putting themselves in.
Yep.
Like it was the back page of the New York Post. You probably saw it.
Yeah.
The no ring circus.
Yeah.
Pictures of Ryan, Tebow, and Sanchez.
Yep.
And it's true though.
The New York Post is one of those. I love their headlines. I would love to work for the New York Post because I could come up with witty headlines all day and get paid for it.
Yeah,
that's sweet.
That'd be a good job. But I mean, it's going to be a mess. It's going to be a mess if Sanchez messes up. They're going to want Tebow. Then they're going to send in Tebow, and it's going to be a mess.
And Tim's going to get in the same mess he was in Denver.
I don't have faith in Tim Tebow.
Yeah, Tim has faith in himself and God, and
I have no faith in Tim Tebow.
I liked him. I want him to do well. He's one of those guys you have to root for.
But do you think he'll do well? Everybody wants him to do well.
I think he'll do average. It's always tough going to a new organization, learning a new system, and Tim's one of those running quarterbacks. The Jets are usually one of those teams that will run between the tackles with the running backs they have. They've always been that way, and they'll throw short passes. They play a similar offense to the Patriots. They really do. And that kind of makes sense.
I would like I've heard other people say, I'm not trying to steal ideas, but I would like this trade if the guy's name was not Tim Tebow.
Yeah.
If his name was Ed Nizer.
Yeah.
he'd be better looking for one.
About stats. I mean, you guys can see the video what I look like now, and all the pictures we post. I mean, come on, I'm a regular GQ model. Anyways, but
if his name was Ed Nizer and he was going there, it'd be like, all right, well,
yeah,
they put in a package for this guy, added new dimension to your offense.
Yep,
that's a good thing for the team.
Yeah.
But with your name, if your name's Tim Tebow and you have Tebow Mania, and you went to Florida, you won Heisman's, you're the virgin of America.
I don't believe it.
And I don't believe it.
Do you see his girlfriend?
I don't know if that's actually his girlfriend.
I don't care, but if
I heard he was dating Taylor Swift.
Ugh. I'm sorry, that schnoz gets me every time.
Beggars cannot be choosers, Mr. Nizer.
Sorry, I don't beg. I don't beg.
They beg you, right?
That's right. That's right.
I like it.
But no, I think Tim he'll do okay in New York, but it's gonna be tough. The media is gonna be all over him night and day. He won't even be able to go out and get a meal without paparazzi being behind him. You know?
Yeah, this is not the place for he needs to be.
No, he's a guy that likes to be. I think he's the type that I think would like to be more in the shadows and come when he does something good, like for the community or something. Then he wants the cameras on him.
See, I don't know.
Wants the cameras on, but just like he would be okay with it if he was out in the community helping out some young kids at like a cancer research place or whatever.
All right.
I mean, I saw a clip of Tim Tebow. I think it was on one of those Make-A-Wish things where he brought this little kid down. It was
my wish.
Yeah, for the leukemia. This kid had leukemia. His only dream was to come down and see the Broncos play and meet Tim Tebow. And it was probably his most heartwarming thing because you tell Tim was very genuine with the child. I like that about. I like players that don't do it because they have to. They do it because they want to.
Right. I mean, I don't question him as a person.
No, I don't either. He's a great person.
But he's not.
He's not an
NFL quarterback. He's not. He cannot. He's not going to be able to handle it.
They said something about him being maybe on special teams too, of what I've heard.
Doing what?
I don't know, but
he's not fast enough to run anything back.
Maybe on special teams as a blocker or something because he's strong, man. He can block.
They got to use him somewhere.
I think they might use him. I could see him playing tight end. I really could. He can catch too.
Man, I feel like
I think he'd be a dirty tight end.
Can you imagine the bounties that are going to be on Tim Tebow?
Oh my God, yeah. Oh, segways. We're not talking about the scooters.
We're not segueing it yet.
No, but I'm saying that's a good segue once we get going.
I don't need you to explain it to me. I get it.
Do you get it?
I get it.
All right.
I get it, Ed.
That knee tap is not seen on the screen. There it is. All right. Anyways, but
so they can see that you're wearing pants. So I think they might question that you're not wearing pants.
After that one tweet,
he's wearing pants.
Hey,
pants are worn.
Casual Friday pants are still allowed, I guess. I mean,
right? No,
they're missing the bottom portion. But I'm still wearing pants.
This is not. This is. It's not pants optional in here.
Really?
Now, clearly, for some people, it's bath optional.
Sorry. Special K. DJ Special K.
Oh man. Oh man.
You like how I turned that one around?
No, come on. But Tebow, man, I don't see it going well for him. Now, what a lot of people are saying and it's coming out about Tebow and is criticizing. People criticize the way he plays, but at the same time, people are like, well, that's just Tim Tebow. Give it a chance. It won games.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of players, including Joey Porter's come out, Warren Sapp's come out, and at some point I'll find these exact quotes. I should have them now. That would have been good.
We'll check during the break.
We'll check during the break. We'll let you know. But they're coming out saying stuff. Basically, he's popular and he's got this support because he's white. There's no other way to say it.
Is that based on the fact that all the other previous running quarterbacks were like Michael Vick, were African American and stuff like that?
Well, what it is that they think he's got a different skill set, and that's what people are saying. It's like he can be successful. He's got a different skill set. Give it a chance. But all these other quarterbacks that come out of college and they're running quarterbacks, they don't really have an arm. They don't have a high football IQ, and they're like, all right, well, put him at wide receiver.
Right.
Put him on special teams. We can't let him. He's not a quarterback.
Do you know Wes Welker was actually a quarterback in high school?
Everybody's a quarterback at some point.
Well, I'm just saying, but Wes is like 5'7". It makes me laugh.
He was probably just a running quarterback.
That's what I'm saying, and that's it emphasizes. Well, I'm saying that emphasizes your point, though. A lot of players that come into the league that were quarterbacks at one point in their life now play wide receiver, tight end, something like that, because they're
right.
Yeah, I was just backing up.
Basically, what they're saying is that Tim Tebow is getting a chance that similar black players did not get. I think it's unfair.
Why does the race card come out?
I don't know. It always does. It always does all the time.
It drives me nuts. But
it's the world we live in.
Yep.
But it makes for something to talk about. I don't want to say I'm falling into trashy sports talk, But I mean,
No, it's something to talk about.
Right. I
You
mean,
know,
it's a big deal when you have other NFL players saying stuff like this.
And another thing with the NBA, Jeremy Lin, like they came out and talked about the Asian.
Yeah, that was Floyd
Sensitivity,
Mayweather
yeah.
who was a jerk about it.
See, there's always something, always somebody that wants to hear their voice in the media. Like Warren Sapp's been in the media for other reasons, but when we
Yep.
talk about the bounties, we'll get into that.
Right.
But yeah, I don't buy it. I don't buy the race thing.
I don't either. I think it's just an
buy it.
unnecessary storyline,
It's to put
unnecessary
hot air,
criticism.
to put hot air out and let your voice be heard about something.
Exactly,
And
and I
that's
just-
all it is, man. That's all it is.
If that's what they want to talk about, they can talk about it. I don't agree with it. I listened. Stephen A. Smith was very adamant about it's true.
Right.
I mean, he's saying like we're saying it's like it's something that you don't really want to be a storyline,
But it's gonna be.
But it is, and it's
yeah.
just you can put on your blinders and you can say I don't see it.
You can do like
I
Big,
don't wanna
Big
talk about
Daddy
it.
earmuffs.
Earmuffs, but it's just I think it's unwarranted. I think it's not. I don't think the credit and the support he gets is because he's a white guy. It's that he's
just
Tim
diff-
Tebow,
he's-
a big deal in college. He's so openly religious, and it's just his support doesn't come from everywhere. It comes from mainly the Christian society.
Yeah, and I don't know. I'm still just saying. I'm gonna say it again. I want him in Jacksonville so bad. It would help that. I know that's random, but I'm just saying.
I wanted it too.
I'm
It would
just
have been great for him. It would have
That's
been great
still
for
on
the
my
team, great for
mind.
the city.
I think he really. I want this contract. There's still. I guess there's still a snag in the contract.
Yeah, there's still something going on.
I want to just kind of fall out the water, just like that Chris Paul trade last year, and just say, "Oh, now Tim Tebow's going to go to Jacksonville." That would just make my day. I would laugh.
I would love it if they sent him there.
Did you see the photos they put out? ESPN put out of him in different uniforms of the teams he was going to go to.
Yes.
He
did
looked
see it.
terrible in the New England uniform. He looked good. The Jacksonville one looked like it fit. Denver, I mean, duh. But and then New York, yeah.
Did his arms look nice in him?
Oh, dude,
He is kind of dreamy.
he is.
Oh, anyways, it's a good time to take a break.
Yeah, well, Travis,
gonna-
get those quotes we were talking about.
Yeah, hang tight with us. We'll be back here in a few minutes. You're listening to the Friday Sports Fix here on Radio Free Charlotte. Welcome back to the Friday Sports Fix here on Radio Free Charlotte. I'm Travis Durkison alongside my co-host Ed Nizer,
Welcome back, guys.
the hairy one,
Yes, the one with the full body sweater.
the full body sweater.
Why? I mean, it's something you need when you grow up north, you know. But
No, I understand. I'm
here
okay
it is.
with
Here's the list. I got it.
Yeah,
now.
we got it. Are
We're
you
good
ready
to
to
go.
go?
I'm gonna shut this door. It's a little hot. We're trying to cool down a little bit during the break.
It's burning up in
It
here.
is burning up in here,
Especially with a body sweater.
And I'm right next to Travis, so I mean, it's kind of you got two striking young males in one room together. You know, it kind of happens, but it's okay.
But anyways, let's get into the Saints stuff. Yeah. If you haven't heard, then crawl out from under the rock that you've been in and listen to this. Bountygate, as I'm sure we all know already, was go into it, Ed. Tell us what you know.
Basically, it was all sparked because they found out that they were putting money, I guess, on the heads of players like big-time quarterbacks like Brett Favre and everything. The New Orleans defense was basically taking bets to see who could make the biggest hit and knock the guy out of the game. That's basically what it was all about. And their defensive coordinator at the time was all behind it. They'd have meetings where there'd be an envelope, and the players would always chant, you know, give it back because the bounty would get bigger and bigger for the next week. And I think the fines range from anywhere from like a couple $100 or something like that. I don't know the exact.
No, it's like
I
it was a few $100 here, $1,500 there.
Yeah.
It's up to $5,000, and
think Vilma was the one that was the main
Vilma is one of the main ones.
guys, and then
But anyways,
yeah, it was just sickening, man.
right. The ruling came down. Now,
Yeah.
what was expected to happen? It was expected that they were going to get punished.
Right.
Now, whether it was going to be Sean Payton out for a few games or Greg Williams out for a year, what Roger Goodell did
Is great. I think it's great.
it's mind blowing. It's just such.
He has done so much good things for this league to keep it safe.
See, I agree with you. At the same point, I wish I didn't. That way, we could have a good debate on this.
No, I mean, we could just talk about what we feel, and we pretty much
Right.
feel the same way. But I think we might have different spins on it. I think it's a good thing because it makes an example. It's just like the old Western days where if you kill, it's an eye for an eye. You know, basically, if you do this, this is what's going to happen. We're making an example of the Saints because I'm sure there's other teams that have done it.
Yeah,
and now
but-
they're going to stop doing it because they know they can get caught.
Right. That's why I love this.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to go over the
Go for it, man.
summary of the punishments. Sean Payton suspended an entire year without pay. pretty rough on
That
the
is
dude.
that is rough on him. And
But I mean,
he knew about it.
you know.
Did you say there was emails that was exchanged?
Yeah,
Sean
what
knew
I
about it?
heard, Roger Goodell asked if he knew it. He's like, oh, no, I had no clue this
Yeah.
was going on. And apparently a player had sent him an email well before the date that he said he had no idea about
Right.
it, saying, I got $5,000 on Favre or Rodgers or whoever.
As a head coach, I think you should put your foot down because you're the
have
face.
to.
You're the face of the team.
You're the supervisor of all your coaches,
Yeah, it's the
of all
same.
your players.
It's the same as if you're in an office building, you know of something that's been some wrongdoing done, and you're the head guy, the CEO of a company, and you know some wrongdoing's been done in your office, and you don't say anything about it, you're going to get flack for it. Just like that whole Enron scandal back maybe 5-6 years ago, we heard about that, and the head of the franchise, he got tagged for it as well.
Right.
Even if he wasn't doing everything, he still got tagged.
All right. Well,
But,
devil's advocate right here.
yeah.
Why suspend him for a year? He didn't do anything. He literally did not. He wasn't the one doing it. It was Greg Williams. Why suspend Sean Payton an entire year?
And I don't know if the entire year is justified. I think maybe a few, like 10 games would have done the trick and gave the message that this is
Stand
not.
strong, Ed.
I am standing strong. What I'm saying is, like, I'm trying to say that I do like that that Goodell put his foot down in saying this is not acceptable because you are the supervisor and it's your job to make sure this kind of stuff doesn't happen. But the fact that he didn't engage in it himself and say, here's a couple $100, if you get fired, I'll give you $100 or whatever, $200 or $5,000. I don't think a year is. I mean, I like that he's being punished, but I think a year is too much. A year is too much. It makes it tougher on the franchise as a whole to find a new coach for that short period of time.
Well, I mean, they shouldn't have been doing it.
They shouldn't have been doing it. You're right, but
It's
I think it's something
it
that's been
sends
going
a
on.
message, and
It does send a
that's what has
message,
to be
but-
done. So he's gone a year.
I'm okay with it, but I mean, I think it's a little bit steep.
Greg Williams suspended indefinitely, effective immediately.
Oh, duh.
So he's at least gone the year, and Goodell is going to review his status at the end of the 2012 season.
That's fair. That's fair, I think.
I would not be surprised if he's gone for several years.
Well, you think he'll find another job somewhere, even if he done?
If you're banned from the NFL, no.
I don't
You
think so
can't.
either. I think that's a big black mark on your record.
No, he's not going to get a job in the NFL
I don't
ever
think
again.
so. Yeah, I don't think so, but not in the NFL. But I mean, college ranks, maybe somebody would take a chance on that. 'Cause I don't think so.
I think that's bringing in a storm if you do that.
I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't if I was an AD and I saw that he was available, even though he was a good coach.
But was he a good coach?
I
The
mean-
Saints never had very good defense.
I mean, he was an okay coach, but I mean, as a team, they performed pretty well on the daily. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't bring him in. I wouldn't bring him in just because the hoopla it would bring from the media.
Right, it's just too much of a sandstorm bringing
Yeah,
this guy.
exactly.
On top of this, the Saints have been fined $500,000.
Whoop-de-doo.
Yeah, really. They have to forfeit 2 second-round draft picks, one in 2012, one in 2013.
So where do those draft picks go is the question. If they're forfeiting them, they just don't get.
That's actually, I don't know.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. If they forfeit 2 draft
Is
picks.
there just a hole in the draft right there?
Do the lower tier teams get those 2 picks? Like the
I don't know.
Indianapolis Colts, Jacksonville Jaguars get an extra pick now?
No, that's a good question.
I mean, I think that'd be fair.
we have to look into that.
I mean, that's something I just thought of when he mentioned that about the picks.
Yeah, I never even
Because I mean,
considered
what
that.
happens? I've never heard of a situation like this. It's really a new thing, a new can of worms.
Oh, definitely. What about this right here? Mickey Loomis, the GM, suspended without pay for the first 8 regular season games. That right there, how much did Mickey Loomis know?
You know,
it's
that's
just-
a great question. He's not down on the field with the players
Yeah,
in practice.
what does he know
He's
about
just
it?
front office brass. You know, like I don't know. He provides
Right.
he just signs the paychecks.
Exactly.
I don't know, but
Joe Vitt, Saints head coach, is suspended without pay first 6 games. Saints individuals discipline expected
see,
participation.
it just sounds weird that Peyton got the full year suspension, and then you got the assistant coach just gets 6 games. That what he said, 6 games, and then the owner gets the GM gets what 8 months or 8
GM
games.
8 games.
8 games.
The owner doesn't suffer anything.
Oh,
The
the
owner,
owner,
owner
GM.
just- the GM,
Okay,
is
GM.
out 8 games.
I got you.
Now the owner, all he has to do is fork over 500 G's, which
Oh.
I don't. That's chump change to this guy.
Yeah, it's
Let's be for reals.
who's this?
This is Drew Brees.
Drew Brees
Was
comment.
not pleased.
I am speechless. Sean Payton is a great man, coach, and mentor. The best there is. I need to hear an explanation for this. He's not happy. I mean, I don't blame him.
I don't see what this is really bad for the entire organization because first off, Drew Brees is already grumpy because he got franchised.
Yeah.
Which understandably so. He's done so much for that franchise. He got him a Super Bowl, made them a Super Bowl contender every year, and they're just gonna be like, well, we really don't want to give you a new contract. Here's a franchise tag. We'll worry about it later. I think that's unfair to Drew. So now he's already grumpy. Now his head coach, which they've basically been partnered up since they've been there.
Yeah, they've been buddies. I mean, you can tell there's always
they're homeboys. And now Peyton's gone for the year. It's just this is an 8-win team now.
This is a 3-ring circus in New Orleans. It really is, and I hate it for the city.
I love it for the Panthers.
I love it for the Panthers. Yes,
the Panthers is great.
There's a chance. So you're saying there's a chance?
Yeah. So I'm totally
8-win
okay
team.
with that.
I think so. I'll buy that. 8-9 wins.
Well, I got here a little video clip here about Roger Goodell. He did an interview with Adam Schefter on ESPN. Said a lot of good things.
Yeah,
so I'm going to play a little bit of it. Never mind. I'll figure it out here in a minute. I don't know what in the world I'm doing on here. This is the first go. I'll figure this out. But what I'm going to talk about a little bit while I figure this out is the 4 players that were named in the bounties were Brett Favre, Kurt Warner, Aaron Rodgers.
I heard Cam Newton.
Cam Newton.
And they said they started when? 2009? Is that what?
2009.
2009, and Cam Newton just came in the league last year.
Clearly
so it's been going on for a while.
This just barely started with Cam.
Yeah. There was a big piece in the Observer I saw on that as well, and I wonder what Cam's reaction was.
Cam had a very understanding reaction. What he said, which I loved it. If I was with him, I probably would have kissed him on the face, just because I'm like, thank you for saying this. Because people,
I know he came out pretty came out and just said it like it was, told it like it was.
Yeah.
I like
so
that.
what it was, he's like, listen. I'm going to pull up the exact quote.
That's fine, yeah.
So I'll pull that up, and I'll let you know exactly what he said.
I saw it. I just couldn't remember exactly verbatim what he said, but I knew it was something that
it was very well said.
Yeah.
And we'll get into that later. Came in surprised about bounties. He said, if I'm a running back, if I'm a receiver, if I'm a linebacker, a D tackle, you always have to respect the other person's career because they're feeding families, just like I'm trying to feed my parents. And if you take those joints, ligaments away by taking a cheap shot, it's bigger than one little, yes, we took down their starting quarterback. This quarterback can't even throw anymore because you took a late hit on him. Yeah, it's 15 yards, but you're limited this guy's whole career.
That is a really well thought out quote. And I like that. It shows a side of Cam Newton that people aren't really sure of.
And it's so true.
It's right.
I listen to the radio, and people are calling in, Goodell is trying to pussify the NFL.
Bull crap. I don't know.
No, it's not.
He's just trying to... Have you seen some of these videos of the players that have played in the league for like 15 years, like some of these old linebackers?
No, they're literally, they're not going to live to be 60 years old. Probably.
No, they're definitely...
Earl Campbell can hardly walk.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think that's the one I was thinking of. Yeah, he has a hard time getting out of bed in the morning.
Yeah.
That's tough, man. To play a game and just get so beat up because of the physicality. No, they're not trying to quote unquote pussify the NFL. That's just crazy.
Now I understand. Yes,
ignorant.
It's a physical game.
Yeah.
Now people are like, oh, I'm okay with them doing bounties as long as it's stuff within the rules of the game, but that's not what they're doing. They're giving you money not for big hits. They're giving you money to
injure
a player.
And as a former football, I only played high school, but as a former football player, you never go out to injure the other player.
Why would you want to do that?
If it happens, it happens.
Why don't you understand? You don't want.
I could get injured walking up the stairs and fall down flat on my face and break my leg.
Yeah. What if Jonathan Vilma goes out there, who's been a big part of this bounties, and Hines Ward has a bounty on Jonathan Vilma to lay a ridiculous block on him and just concuss the hell out of Jonathan Vilma. I'll give you 5 Gs. And Jonathan Vilma heard about it. You think he'd be okay with this? You think he would still be doing this bounty stuff?
Absolutely not. And, I've always wondered if offensive line, and now this whole bounty thing, it opens up a can of worms where I think, do offensive linemen think this as well? Because a lot of teams that do the chop blocks, do they think this way? I mean, do you think there's something on the offensive side, too, that could be going on?
I mean,
there's some dirty chop blocks going on.
Yeah, but it's a lot harder to be dirty on offense
it really is.
than on defense.
I agree.
It's just not okay because people that argue that this should not be an issue, I feel are so ignorant, and I feel they have to know they're wrong. They have to know.
I think they just want to hear it. Like, it goes back to the whole thing about
people are just stubborn, ignorant, just closed-minded? I don't understand what it is.
You don't want to see a player get hurt anyway. I don't get excited. I wouldn't cheer if I saw, when I was with Paige playing the Colts. I wouldn't cheer if Peyton Manning get hurt. I'd be like, is that guy hurt?
No, it's not. It's understandably uncool, no matter how you put it.
It's like those fans who like when you're at a game, they cheer when the opposing team. Yeah, get him. He's down. He's hurt. You don't do that.
No,
that's quiet and sign of respect.
That makes you that makes you a bad human being.
Yep.
You're a pathetic human being.
Yes, I agree. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't like this whole.
I hate it. Crap. And when you ask people, it's like, what if this happened? What if this was your child?
Your child or your father or anything?
Yeah. What if your child was a quarterback for his high school team, and the other team put a bounty on him, and they hit him low, tore his knee all to hell.
And he could never play the game again, or barely even have a hard time walking.
Right. I bet you wouldn't be okay with bounties then.
No, exactly. Yeah, and people need to put it in perspective and put yourself in the shoes. In the shoes of the player that has the bounty on his head, in the shoes of the player's family, in the shoes, of the organization. I guess the organization too, because it puts them in a damper as well.
Right.
If they're out.
What if, for instance, this is completely untrue right now. What if we were getting paid millions of dollars to be doing what we're doing right now?
Yeah.
It would be incredible.
It would be incredible.
But somebody else was like, what if a competing radio station was like, all right, well, I'll give you an extra $1 million if you come in and you take out Travis and Ed and they run in here and just hit us both in the head with baseball bats. People are like, well, in football, you're supposed to get hit. Yeah, but they're doing stuff outside of the rules to hurt people, to knock them out of the game.
I'm not okay with that. I mean, I know there's such thing as a dirty play in football where you kind of try to get a little bit of an advantage, but you don't try to go out and hurt the guy.
No, you never do that. It's because
I remember when I played defensive line, I try to get I get under the shoulder pads with a forearm shiver and kind of cut off the oxygen. Cut off the oxygen a little bit with the pads, get them up there because that's legal. That's totally within the realm of the game where you can put the breast plates and push them up. Yeah,
late hits are not legal.
No, late hits suck.
That's what they're doing. It
reminds me of Matt.
Let's just be honest.
Remember that game growing up, the old Madden games before they were actually real, where you could actually jump on the players after the play?
Yeah.
This reminds me of the New Orleans Saints. I'm just saying, their bounty program, it's like, I'm going to hit the guy again.
You know what I like to do in Madden is just, if there's like an extra point or a field goal, and I don't care.
Just run the tunnel?
No.
I do that.
No, I just get a defensive player, and I just set right next to the kicker. As soon as they snap, I just tackle the kicker.
I like tackling the holder, because he's defenseless.
Yeah, I'll do that.
He's defenseless. It's even funnier.
Really sidetracked. But it's just, I don't understand the ignorance of people.
I don't either.
I understand you want. I like the game of football. I love physical. I love it's a physical game.
Yeah.
It's very natural for human beings to like this. It's kind of barbaric, but it's what people
for years.
Instinctively. It's an evolutionary fact.
Yeah.
That's what we enjoy. That's why people like MMA, because it's barbaric, and it's just that's
human nature.
It's human nature.
Go back to the time the Greeks of way back when gladiators.
It's the same stuff.
They love that kind of stuff. And there's wrestling. And I mean, look at this. Look at it this way.
Show me.
I think of it. I've looked at film from back in the 40s and 50s when the game was played. There was not much equipment. But it was a lot safer because the players focus on fundamentals. The equipment, I think, sometimes gives them a false sense of security, that they'll try to make these big hits and go head to helmet because they think they can. And and I think that's part of the whole bounty thing, because you go back to the days of the 40s and 50s, they make their money on just ticket gate sales. That's it. They maybe have a couple of incentives out there, but they're lucky if they came home with $200, $300 a game after the pot was split.
It's a good for Roger Goodell.
Yeah,
that's basically what I'm saying.
It's great for Roger Goodell.
I love the game. I love that it's a hard football game.
Yeah.
I love that people hit other people, but I also have a heart.
I
have
do
some
too.
compassion for other human beings.
It's called morals. You don't go out and try to hurt somebody and end their career, and hamper their life for the rest of their time on the earth. You don't do that.
No, it's
if it happens to them by a freak accident, then it's just bad luck.
Then that's bad luck. But if you're giving people extra money to literally just hurt somebody,
and the fact that they want extra money and they already make enough money as it is.
Right. I think I got this Goodell Club. Let's see if I can get to work. Just listening to hear what he's saying, and Adam,
it's clear that the violation we have here is in a very important rule. One, anything that puts at risk the health and safety of our players, that's a very important policy and rule, and we're going to uphold that. Second of all, it went on for 3 years with denials from the club officials, and we pursued it aggressively. And once we found out that it was actually happening within the organization, we had to deal with it seriously. It was an important policy that we're going to uphold.
In the announcement.
See, now, well said.
Yeah, very well said.
Well said. It's completely unacceptable. The fact that Sean Payton knew about this and lied that he knew about it and came out that he did know about it, now he's gone.
You know what kind of reminds me of? I hate to say it after the man's dead, but Joe Paterno was saying he did the right thing with the Penn State sex allegation, whatever
Right.
assault or whatever. It reminds me of that a little bit. It reminds me of a lot of things that go on in sports where the head coach always denies, no, I didn't know about it. I didn't know that was happening with my assistants.
Old Jim Boeheim.
Jim Boeheim, yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's what I was trying to go with. But yeah, or the guy from UCLA, that whole thing with the drugs and everything. So I mean, that's just natural of a coach to deny it right off the bat and not the shoot, but he shouldn't do it. If he said yes, it was going on under my watch, I think the penalty may have been a little bit less.
Yeah.
The fact that he lied, and Roger Goodell said, you know what, the heck with you, I'm going to give you pretty much the death penalty. In the NFL, it's like you lose about $6.5 million because you didn't talk out. It's just like when your parents tell you, honest, the truth will set you free, or always be honest or whatever. And he wasn't honest.
No, and he's getting what he deserves.
He's getting the flack, yeah, exactly.
And another side note on this story, which I think is going to start getting a lot of attention, is Warren Sapp once again. I really honestly dislike Warren Sapp.
He's a big mouth.
He's a big mouth. He likes attention, and he's a gimmick. I could do a whole show on gimmicks that ESPN has.
Yeah. Oh,
NFL
yeah.
Network. All these places they have gimmicks. He's a gimmick.
No, there's no
He's
question.
a big mouth gimmick. I'm not saying he's stupid. I mean, sometimes he says
some
worthy
good
things. Half the
and
time he's saying stuff to get attention.
Oh yeah, there's
And
no question.
It's unreal. But anyways, on Twitter he put up, I just found out who the snitch was about the Saints case, and somebody tweeted him and said Shockey ? And Sapp retweeted it saying bingo. And Shockey is not pleased.
Shockey's a head case in of it. I like Shockey.
I like him too, but he's not too happy about it.
I don't
And
blame him.
Shockey's response was my ass.
Yeah, I can see Jeremy saying that.
And understandably so. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just you don't say that. It's just there has to be some unwritten
rule of the
players.
football fraternity.
Yeah,
you don't call somebody he's a snitch. No, Warren, come on,
No,
man.
And it's gonna. I have a feeling it's gonna get ugly. I feel like people are gonna come after Jeremy Shockey once the football season starts, because it's just this whole snitches get stitches thing is gonna start gaining legs.
Yeah.
And of course he's denying it. And Sapp should just
shut up.
unless you know for a fact.
Just shut up.
Yeah, especially when you're supposed to be a professional NFL analyst.
Yeah, that's really a shot to his credibility as well.
No, exactly.
If I came out and said I heard something that he's a snitch, I'm a journalist. You're a journalist.
Right. You don't make claims like that without any kind of sources.
No, exactly.
Fact checks.
I
You
mean,
don't do it.
I don't have a real job. I mean, I work down here, but if I had a a real paying sports job, and I came
Right.
out and said that, I'd be getting my pink slip, and here's your box. Pick up your
Exactly,
desk. You're gone.
exactly.
You got to check your sources, and he's supposed to be an NFL analyst, getting paid millions of dollars to do it because he's a former pro player. Come on.
Yeah, and
I hate it.
And Sapp said he did not receive his information from anyone at the league, but from a trusted source close to the situation. Who's your trusted source?
Who's your trusted source?
Yeah,
If you're
exactly.
saying from a trusted source, that's you just trying to say I'm covering my
No,
butt.
that's somebody else trying to be a punk.
Yeah. I wonder if could the officials come out and say anything if they heard anything in the huddles walking around? I would be, what I'm talking about, if they, because I remember there was this case where it was a Vilma that was saying, pay me my money or whatever when Favre was hurt.
That was Hargrove, I believe.
Hargrove said that. And I wonder if the officials, like when they're walking out to set the ball down, have heard anything in the huddles, because there's a lot of stuff that gets said in the NFL huddle that the mic doesn't pick up.
They probably have, and this is a really unfortunate situation for the league.
Coming off a lockout season and then potential lockout and then this.
And stuff like this happens, I understand, and Goodell is doing. People are so hard on him, saying that he's the worst commissioner in sports and this is awful. I think what he's doing is
Great.
Yeah. What is wrong with what he's doing? He's trying to protect his players. He's trying to protect the league's integrity. He's doing everything a commissioner should be doing.
Yeah, he's doing what and sometimes the best leaders are the ones that aren't afraid to step out in front of adversity. He's getting a lot of flack from a lot of people, and he's doing what he needs to do. And as you said, player safety, he said this on numerous occasions, is their number one priority. And I believe it. I mean, you see, like I said, we see some of these guys after they're done with their careers, they're having a hard time getting out of bed in the morning and playing with their kids. It sucks. It sucks.
And that stuff, we don't even know if that was bounties, but if you're actually intending to hurt somebody to where they can't walk, to where they can't breathe, to where they can't see straight, it's not, if you're doing that intentionally, which I understand they're hitting people intentionally, but to intentionally hurt them.
Yeah, I mean, there's something they call a form tackle. They teach it every high school, every peewee game, every NFL practice, college practice. It's called a form tackle. Hit, lift, and drive. Grab under the legs, put your head, shoulder into the midsection, and lift them and take them down. It's a simple tackle, but you see some of these guys flying through the air trying to make the ESPN highlight reel tackle.
Yeah,
it's sickening, and they try to go for the head. They go for the knees. No,
I hate it.
Like I said, the old school style of football is something I'd love to see. Take the pads away and see how they play. Take the pads away and they'll go back to the fundamentals. Take some of the pads away, the helmets. Give them back the leatherbacks. I mean,
give them the leather heads. I like it.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's a false sense of security for some of these players. I honestly do. They think they're Superman with all these pads on. You're wearing about 30 pounds of equipment, and then you're going to be more likely to make these kind of big hits. And because I'm going to feel okay from it, but the guy on the other receiving end of the hit, he might be paralyzed for life. You never know.
Exactly. It's just there's a difference between making the tackle to bring a guy down for a tackle, and making a tackle to hurt someone.
Yeah, exactly.
To get an extra $5,000.
And that's what it boils down to. It's poor ethics and just poor morals in the base of the players.
It makes you a pathetic person.
Yeah,
you're not a
good person.
That's a serious stretch to make, but it's simple as that.
Yep, it is. I mean, I think we're beating a dead horse because I think everybody out there listening to us knows that this is wrong.
It's got to, but that's the thing. People don't know.
They should.
People will talk circles.
It's almost common.
Well, it's football. It's football. They're playing football. They know the risk of playing football. Yeah, it's a risk if it's within the rules and they're doing it, and it's an accident. It happens when people are purposely trying to tear you apart
that's not football.
To injure you. That's not football.
That's just called being
That's simple as that.
Yeah.
We're gonna take a quick break here, try and calm down a little bit. Move on.
We're firing up a little bit.
Yeah,
it's hot in here, and
I know.
I'm heated.
I'm just thinking about people that piss me off.
Yep.
But
we'll be back.
Yep. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with some more sports talk. You listen to Friday Sports Fix here on Radio Free Charlotte. Welcome back into the Friday Sports Fix here on Radio Free Charlotte. I'm Travis Sturkey sitting alongside Ed Nizer.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back.
Welcome back. Why is nobody talking on our Facebook page?
Come on, man.
I know you're on the internet.
Yeah, on the internet. We see all these people up. I see, a bunch of people that say they like our page and then comment, guys.
Yeah,
we like
something.
some feedback.
Let's go. I'm talking to you, Hannah.
Yeah, Hannah. Oh, your lady friend?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's up, Hannah?
Yeah, nobody's talking to us. Oh. Making me mad. We're going to get a little more NFL news.
We talk to ourselves way too much. I feel like.
No, I feel like I'm talking to no one.
You're talking to me, man.
You're always talking to no one, though.
That's true. It's part of my life. That's why they put me in a soundproof radio booth usually.
We're going to go in here to a couple more little NFL notes. It's been a busy week. I know we've done a whole hour on the NFL, but
it's warranted.
Yeah, NFL is king. But first little note I have here, big locally, the Panthers have signed Mike Tolbert, free agent running back from San Diego.
I like it.
I think, can you have too many horses in the stable, though?
No. Look what the Patriots did. They had a bunch of running backs, and they did well. They had Ridley. They had Ben Jarvis Green-Ellis, who's now with Cincinnati.
But that was three. They had like a stable of mediocre running backs.
That's fine. I mean,
that's okay with having a stable of mediocre ones.
Because they'll get, carries will be distributed. But, your question is, I think you're talking about Jonathan Stewart.
You have three
good running backs.
Three running backs are all capable of being starters in the NFL.
Yeah, I don't know. It might. What I think it might pose is a lot of locker room conflict, like who's getting more carries and stuff like that, because that's usually what happens. Especially like when receivers don't get enough touches, they start.
There's no way they can satisfy all these guys because you look at it, you got to show the carries between those three. And then you have Cam Newton, who's going to get his goal line carries.
Right.
Now I think part of the reason they're bringing in Tolbert is to take some of those carries away from Cam Newton on the goal line, which is probably a good idea because I don't want Cam Newton jumping.
Sorry, guys.
I don't want him jumping over a pile against the Saints and getting torn up.
Yeah, that's
no, I don't want that. I'd rather it be Tolbert taking it low, bowling ball style.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with that. I like Mike Tolbert. I like him a lot. I think he's going to be. When I saw that, I was like, oh, that's a great pickup. But then I'm like, oh no, what are they going to do with Stewart and Williams?
I think they'll make him a fullback.
Well, yeah, they're going to make him a fullback, but there's no way to satisfy all these guys. But why are you breathing so hard in my microphone?
I'm getting, it's hot, man. I'm hot. I'm trying to look. But anyways,
It's burning up.
I'll try to pull up his stats. His career stats.
I think he had 8 touchdowns last year.
He did 8 touchdowns last year. Yeah.
That's pretty darn respectable.
Yeah, he's good, man.
He's a good football player, and
Big fella too.
he's going to be good blocking. He's going to be good out of the backfield
dude.
catching the ball.
He's
Yeah.
my height, 243 pounds. That's one.
Solid too.
He's a tank, dude.
But so is Jonathan Stewart. Have
Yeah.
you ever seen Jonathan Stewart in person?
Oh my God, he's huge.
Built like a brick wall.
Yeah. A lot of these running backs they're all little bowling balls, man.
Yeah, man. It's just they're not. The big thing is, are they going to trade one of these running backs? And they're not going to trade D'Angelo Williams. They paid him too much money. If they trade him, they're going to have to pay a ton of his contract anyways.
Right.
They're not going to trade him. And Jonathan Stewart, I would understand trading, but
What would they get for him?
Yeah, what kind of market is there for running backs anymore? It's just it's not a dying position, but it's a position that does not carry the same kind of importance that it once did.
Yeah,
in the
you know,
days of Emmitt Smith
if they got rid of Jonathan Stewart for, I don't know, maybe a wide receiver on a nice 2 or 3, I'd be okay with
I
that.
think at best they'd get a 3rd round pick. At
Yeah.
best.
Yeah.
Which when people trade for 3rd round picks, I'm like, I hate that.
Yeah.
I would hate it if the Panthers traded for a 3rd round pick.
But
Now,
then again, you never know what that 3rd round pick might bring.
true, it could bring somebody that never touches the field. It could bring somebody like Armani Edwards.
Armani Edwards, he's one of those local boys that didn't really pan out.
You know, that's the stuff I hate now. I understand. I love it when the Panthers get something for trading away a dummy little pick. Like they traded a 3rd round pick for Greg Olsen.
Yeah, look how that turned out.
Yeah, you get a great tight end for a 3rd round pick, but it's just I don't know. I think they're going to keep all 3 of them. This is Stewart's last year of his contract. He's going to want a lot of money. I think this is good insurance if they can't re-sign Stewart.
I think that's what the whole move was about.
True.
Just in case they can't reach a deal with him, then they already have a back that can fill in.
Exactly. Which there's nothing wrong with getting a little bit of insurance.
Oh no.
Well, I'd rather them see them sign a decent wide receiver. Yes, I would have rather seen that. But hey, at least they're doing something. They don't have a whole lot of cap room. They don't. I'm pretty sure they're over the cap.
They are the former Florida Marlins of the NFL. Now they're Miami Marlins, but they try to do the best they can with the limited cap space they have.
Right. And it's just last year they spent all their money.
Yeah.
And if Tolbert can really bring something to the table, then I would be hell yeah.
Absolutely. Go
Bring
for it.
I would.
Mikey, go ahead. Yeah.
I just don't know, like you said, the locker room situation.
You know, that's always something that you have to take into account if you're a coach, if you're a GM, if you're an owner, what it's going to be like. You know, I know the Panthers, they seem like from what I've heard, they're a pretty close-knit group of guys. But
oh yeah, because they keep their guys.
Yeah, they're very close because they've been together for so many years, and I don't know what the feeling is going to be. Is Jonathan going to start speaking out and say, "Hey, Mike's getting a lot more carries than me. Why don't I get more touches? I've been doing a lot of work for this franchise. Been here for many years."
Does that say number 0 for his number?
Well, he doesn't have a number yet.
I was wondering if that was like literally.
No, I think the roster thing just automatically gives him a 0 if he hasn't picked the number yet.
Okay,
But that's the only thing I could think.
I think it's a good sign.
I do too.
He's a good fantasy player.
Wait a minute, we got a comment on our picture.
What does he want? What does Josh Carpenter want?
Panthers signing Tolbert gives him options, according to Josh Carpenter. Always a friend of the show, a friend of ours.
Well, read the rest.
I'll read the rest of it. Stewart is probably gone next year anyway, so Tolbert's
Light contract.
gives him insurance.
Right.
Hey,
like we were
Josh
saying.
just basically co-signed me. Thanks, buddy. I know we're on the same page, but Josh, you should call in. You know the number, 704-687-7151. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Josh is, if you don't know, he's an avid junkie of the sports situation. He's always on the Niner Report, giving up the recruiting
Especially later on, we'll
information.
get into our 49ers.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Josh, we'd love to hear you talk about Jamar Briscoe and his thoughts on the transfer. So please call in if you get time at work, buddy.
Or just send us.
Send us a
Man,
message.
this phone is going to be a thorn in my side.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So I would rather have.
Yeah, Josh, just send us a message on the board about Jamar Briscoe if you can. That'd be great.
But anyways, getting back into
Yeah.
it. Stewart, yeah, I would love to see him stay. I'm a big Jonathan Stewart fan. My girlfriend, I'm pretty sure, would marry him if I allowed it.
Yeah, you
But,
kind
it's
of have a
just-
say on that. I think.
No, I don't.
a little bit of a say. Sorry, Hannah.
But I don't know what it's going to do with Double Trouble.
Right,
I hate to
right.
see it break up just because it's been such a staple in Carolina for the past several years.
Yeah.
But Mike Tolbert, like Carpenter says, brings in it's flexibility. It's
Yep.
another option, and I guess you can never have too many options.
No, you can't.
I would rather have them spend money to bring in, one of them second tier wide receivers
Yeah,
that are on
absolutely.
the market. I mean, it's a light contract.
It's a business, and the fact that I like what Jerry Richardson and the Panthers are doing, trying to secure their chances. I mean, Mike Tolbert is a great pickup on free agency, and I think he does provide the add insurance, like Josh, Travis, and I have said, that they need that. They need that because Jonathan Stewart is in the end of his contract, and I wouldn't be hard pressed to say that he might be having his walking papers after the season, like we've been saying.
I would hate it because he's going to want good money.
Yeah, oh yeah, and I think he's deserving of it.
Yeah, he's a player that could well deserve good money.
Yeah, I agree.
So
I agree.
Go for it, Jonathan Stewart. I
Godspeed, sir.
get money.
Get
that,
money.
Get that
money.
paper.
Yes, that's right.
Good for him. Another little
Yeah.
note. What else do I have here? A lot of noise has been made the past week because Andrew Luck and RG3 have just had their pro days,
Yeah.
and both of them, to all accounts that I've heard, were pretty impressive.
Yeah.
And Merrill Hodge, another gimmick who I hate. I hate Merrill Hodge. Merrill Hodge has no business being on television giving any opinion about anything ever. It's plain and simple. And he's very adamant about taking RG3 over Andrew Luck. And I think that argument is gaining a lot of legs. A lot of people are starting to feel that way. But
Go either way.
it's not going to happen.
No, but I think I liked what I saw from Luck yesterday. He did showcase his talents pretty well. And yeah, also when he was talking with the guys from ESPN, I liked his composure with the media. He was basically saying he's going to finish I liked how he said he's going to finish his degree at Stanford in architecture, and he wants to build skyscrapers. I thought that was kind of funny. That made me laugh a little bit.
Oh, yeah?
You didn't hear that?
No.
He's like, I want to build skyscrapers. I'm like, okay. What does that do with your stock as a quarterback? But that made me laugh. But I like the kid. I think he's going to do well, and he seems like he's embraced the role. If he does go to Indy, taking over after Peyton Manning, he knows what it means to the franchise and the community, and what they're going to expect of him. He's up for the challenge.
Yeah, I think he can definitely do it. And it's clear if he goes number one, RG3 is definitely going number two.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's going to be a great player. I mean, I watched a little bit of his pro day highlights, and, when you watch film on him, you never really thought about it when you watched him. But when they show film on him, he is really impressive.
Yeah, when you show film, it's one thing to look at game film with the player, and you kind of get lost in the shuffle. There's a lot of stuff going on. But when you see him out there just showcasing his talents, his ability to read routes, it showcases more of his football IQ than you would see in a game.
No, he's going to be a wicked player. I really hope he comes through and does a lot because I think
too.
No, because he reminds me a lot of Cam Newton. I think Cam Newton has done a lot. I think Cam Newton doing so well has really raised RG3 stock.
I agree.
I don't think there's a whole lot of doubt about that. But that looks like about all I got for no. I have more.
What do you got?
Earlier today, or it might have been late last night, the Bears signed former Raiders running back Michael Bush.
Yeah.
And their current star running back, Matt Forte, is not too pleased about it.
Forte's been pretty much one of the faces of that franchise.
Forte has
he's been helping
wicked
out
awesome. Wicked awesome.
Thanks, buddy. He actually helped my fantasy football team 2 years ago and actually gave a crap about it. Asked Josh about our league where I just forgot about.
What was the name of your team?
Well, last year I can't remember what it was, but the one when I won, it was You've Gone Way Too Far.
Gone way too far.
It was the year of the Brett Favre stuff.
That's not too bad.
No, it's not bad. But I liked it.
I'm just really excited to see some of the names, some of these spinoffs on Tebow stuff this year.
What are they?
I don't know. I don't know them. I can't wait to see them.
Give me one. What do you got?
Oh man. I don't know, the T-boners. I don't know. don't know if that's
classic.
okay to say,
That's
but
a classic.
but it's been done.
It's a classic.
Cannot unsay it.
No.
But anyways, moving on from that, we're gonna get into some NCAA notes.
Actually, yes, I can. Yes, I can.
We're gonna take another quick break. We'll be right back here. We got a lot of NCAA tourney talk. If you guys are out there listening, again, feel free to post stuff on the Facebook page. Let us know what you want to hear.
Absolutely.
And we'll definitely get into it. You're listening to Friday Sports Fix here on Radio Free Charlotte. Welcome in to the Friday Sports Fix here on Radio Free Charlotte. I'm back. I'm Travis Starkey sitting alongside Ed Nizer.
What's going on, everybody? We're going to talk a little NCAA tournament hoops.
March Madness.
Yeah,
it has been glorious.
It really has not disappointed.
No, I wish we could have talked about it more last week while our station was down, because I was ready to go.
There were some epic games last week. Norfolk State, and then you got
Duke going down.
and man, it was great. Lehigh was a team that nobody really knew about, though. They're actually pretty good the whole
Still
year.
don't know about them.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh man, let's get into it a little bit.
There's a lot going on.
Let's talk about a couple of last night's games. Syracuse pulled out a little squeaker against Wisconsin.
Yeah, and I think Syracuse had, if I remember correctly, Travis, they had about a 15-point lead or something around those lines.
Yeah, Syracuse was whooping.
And then the Badgers came roaring back, and they made it a game. They lost only by one, and the one point that I key in on, I'll tell you who the leading scorer was before I get into that, but I think it was Mello. Who was it?
Fat Mello's out.
Not Fat Mel. Who was it?
I don't know.
Whatever. We're gonna go back. We're just gonna talk about what I was saying. But I lost my thought. Oh, it was Fair.
CJ Fair.
CJ Fair.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
50
Yeah, I didn't get to watch
points.
a whole lot of the game.
But
I don't control the TV at my house.
well,
Ain't that a shame?
you don't have cable, do you?
I don't have cable, but I do get these games on CBS.
That's
but
nice. That's nice. Yeah.
The old lady doesn't let me have remote controls.
One of the stories that you and I were just talking about during the break was the whole 3-pointer thing by Wisconsin.
Wisconsin went 14 of, I believe it was 22.
Yeah, 42 of their points came off.
42 of their 63 points were from behind the line.
This has been a blowout if it was a game before the 84 when they put on the
like
3-point line.
Jim Boeheim had said there's no way if you said that we were going to play a team that hit 14 threes that we were going to win. He said, I would not have believed that.
I like this quote from Jim Boeheim, too. I can't tell you how good it feels to win a game like this. This was a great game. Like he emphasized great. It was awesome.
It's what March Madness is about. That's what people want to see. And it was Big Ten basketball. That's what Wisconsin played, and Wisconsin
they dictated the tempo, I think.
Yeah.
I think
They played a Big Ten basketball game. It was slow. It was ugly, and it was a grinded out game, kind of just like Big Ten football.
Yep, that's exactly what it was. And the play that everybody's talking about today is what the Badgers should have done on that during those final 12 or so seconds in their final possession. They're taking that
was a horrible sequence. God,
it was ugly basketball. I mean, I thought I was watching. Well, Charlotte is a place like that. I hate to say it, but it was just.
Oh God!
I hate to say it. My loyalty lies with the 49ers, but I speak the honest truth, and I question it. I question what they were doing because you were talking about. Tell them what your thoughts of what they should have done were. You were telling me.
Well, what I saw is there was a big guy standing at the top of the key. I guess he's there for pick and roll purposes.
Yeah.
But they gave him the ball, and there were two guys trying to strip the ball from him, and they were all over him. And if he just would have went up to take a shot,
he would have got fouled. Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been 3 foul shots.
And also when the point guard was making it at the top of the key dribbling, kind of look for an option. He had that same big guy who was he was boxing on. I think it was on the left side of the blocks. Could have feeded into him, make a nice move under the basket off the glass, and then at least you'll get fouled and go to the charity stripe. But then they opt to take a 3-pointer when you're only down by one.
Yeah.
They take a 2-pointer wins the ball game. Yeah. I don't know. I didn't like it.
That wasn't a great end of the game. But Michigan State goes down
by a lot too.
Yeah, I mean they were taken care of pretty handily. What was the final score you got?
I think it was
57-44.
Yeah.
Ooh, Michigan State. They only had 18 points at the half, I believe.
Yeah.
That is bad. And Louisville wasn't exactly running it up. They only had 23.
Yeah.
It's like watching high school.
Yeah. Louisville got the job done. Rick Pitino,
that's more Big Ten basketball.
Yep. And that's what everybody and a lot of people are saying. Michigan State's going to win it. And no, I mean they kind of just had the
they try and beat
Cardinals
and bang you, and it's just when you get up against a team that's a little bit more athletic and can run on you, I don't think there's a way to really defend it. I think that's why teams like North Carolina fare so well. They're not very good defensive teams, but they'll just score a lot of points.
Wow, this is a good stat line. This is I believe I can't really see it right too well in my eyesight, but the first time that Izzo has ever had a number 1 seed and not made it to the Final Four.
Yeah, I mean Izzo's a hell of a coach.
Oh, he's great. I like.
That's why a lot of people were picking him to get there, just because Tom Izzo is almost more important to them than any of their players.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So that was they go down Marquette, who had a full head of steam going into this
everybody
game.
was picking the Golden Eagles to win that one.
Yeah, Marquette goes down to Florida, which I think is another story of a wicked good coach.
Yeah.
Billy Donovan in tournament time is just dangerous.
Yeah, you don't want to mess with Billy.
I don't like going against Billy Donovan.
No.
I mean, granted, they're a 7 seed, not one of their better teams, but they
got the job done. That's what tournament basketball is all about.
Love it, man.
The guy you can be that person that picks all the 1s and 2s to go to the Final Four, but you always have to have those guys, those 7s, 8s, even this year 13s. You got to worry about. That's what college basketball is all about, man. That's why a lot of people are saying the NCAA FBS should bring in a tournament system, because it would just make it that much more sexy to the viewers. It's
oh yeah.
You bring in those teams that nobody really says who the heck is these guys, and then they come out and wipe the floor. Lehigh, Duke, Norfolk State. Then they get the floor tail whipped by Florida, but.
Now tonight is going to be another big night, especially in the region.
Yeah,
NC State's playing a late game. They probably won't tip till like
talk about a state divided.
10:30. I mean, it's good. Yeah. I mean, they're going up against Kansas, which is going to be a really tough game. I don't. If I'm picking that game, I don't see a win for State coming out of this. I think it's the run is over for them. If they go on, I mean, I'm going to cheer for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hell yeah, I'm going to cheer for them, because if they win and Carolina wins, they play each other in the Elite Eight.
That'd be an awesome matchup.
That would be incredible. I mean, I remember last year there was a chance for Carolina and Duke to play in the Final Four. Yeah. That would have made the world explode.
Yeah, and you know what I always hate is when I see I'm talking about the second, third rounds. They always put the past couple of years they put Carolina and Duke in the same region. It's really not a neutral court if you think about it. You're in Greensboro. It's not too far from.
Well, I mean, they do that on purpose. Higher seeds,
money, yeah.
Higher seeds generally don't have to go as far.
Yeah, but
I mean, it's done for a reason. But the state is on a hell of a run, and it's
unheard of from them.
No, 3 weeks ago nobody even really thought they would even make the tournament.
Nope.
And now they take down New Mexico State.
Yeah.
Then they take down a higher seed, number 3 seed in Georgetown.
Yeah, and nobody expected that.
They're just getting incredible. Mark Gottfried is getting so much out of this team.
He is, and they've really shined under Gottfried and former head coach Bobby Lutz. A lot of people have talked about what if he was still here at Charlotte. I don't think you can say that. It all depends on the talent you have.
Right. No, but Bobby Lutz is getting a lot of love.
And I respect that. We love. I mean, I'm not gonna be here and be like I'm gonna kiss Bobby's feet and everything, but. He's a guy. He's a likable guy. You have to be happy for him, especially, he was here for so many years, and you got to be happy for him. He's
definitely, yeah. I mean, he's doing.
I think he'll get an offer on a head coaching job out of this.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. I remember there were some rumblings a little while ago that he was offered the job at Winthrop, which, why would he take a Winthrop job? He's going to get much better offers than Winthrop.
And, when he went to Iowa State, the team got a little bit better too.
Yeah, they were a tournament team this year.
Yep,
and he's just.
He's doing.
He's.
I'm happy for him.
Good for him. And then you got Carolina playing tonight. They're up against Ohio, the Bobcats.
Hey, that team is tough. You don't know what to think about Ohio, because you could say they're just Ohio, the team from.
I wish I knew more about them.
I wish I did too. And the games I've seen them play, they're gritty. They are gritty. I like them.
I'm looking forward to these games tonight.
Yeah,
I'm definitely going to be. I'm taking the remote tonight.
There has not. Good for you, buddy.
Tonight is my remote.
Way to put the foot down, Travis.
It's down. Foot be down.
Yeah. You wearing the old butt kicking boots, or?
No, they're on.
Okay, good.
They're tied up tight. It's ready to go. But it's going to be a very interesting
night. Yeah, this is probably one of the best tournaments I've remembered.
Probably.
I mean, it
has been really interesting.
It's been very good. Yeah.
Of course, the storyline for Carolina is Kendall Marshall, world beater, point guard.
Yeah.
Broken wrist. Probably, I do not expect him to play tonight. I highly doubt it. But if they win tonight, I think he's going to play against either Kansas or
I think
State.
Roy Williams said that he couldn't even brush his teeth with that hand.
Really?
Yeah, he said it's that bad. So I don't.
He had a cast on it for like 3 hours though. It seems like he got it on. The next day, he tweeted that it was
It
off.
almost felt like a Jerry Springer show where the guy comes out like in a wheelchair and then he's fine after, or something like that. I'm sorry, it's like a soap opera. It seems like when they asked Roy Williams after the game, did you hear that comment he made where he said it's something between me and the players, but the way he said it, he goes, ESPN, CBS, and all the other media outlets don't need to know about what the conversation that was had between me and my player.
Yeah, I mean, Roy Williams is very abrasive with the media and fans anyways.
Yeah. That's his nature. You got to kind of embrace it with the territory.
Now, if they don't have Kendall Marshall back, I do not see them.
No,
they're not. They're definitely not going to win the title without Kendall Marshall.
Not at all. I mean, it's Carolina. They'll still be competitive.
Oh yeah, they'll be
still
good.
make it a game. They may squeak it out.
Yeah,
but
it depends on if Harrison Barnes takes over like he should. Because I mean, the way they talk.
That's next on the hierarchy. Yeah, Harrison Barnes. He'll probably come up and step it up.
He's got to. It's like I mean, like for the Heat when LeBron James handles the ball, they're unstoppable. It seems like.
Yeah.
Now you just kind of wonder if you're gonna get the same kind of stuff from Harrison Barnes, who's kind of had a drop off year, but if he can take over the game, Carolina's gonna be in much better shape.
Absolutely, but shifting gears back to the Dookie side, Austin Rivers declaring for the NBA draft. There's reports of that. What do you think about it?
I think
freshman year?
I don't think he's ready. I've heard mock drafts that don't have him even going in the lottery.
Yeah,
that he's going like number 21 and stuff like that. And it's
come on, he's going to get picked up because
I mean he's going to get drafted. I know he's going to get drafted, but he doesn't have like Kyrie Irving type skills. No. He needs to go back because
I want him to stay in college.
You don't
bulk up a bit too.
I don't think you should leave after your freshman year unless you're a guaranteed lottery.
I hate
pick.
that. I really do. I don't like the ruling on that you can do that.
I believe it was Chad Forty's mock draft on ESPN, which I can't see because I'm not an ESPN insider.
Yeah, I mean,
heaven forbid you get information unless you pay them. But he had James Michael McAdoo going number 7 in the draft.
Wow.
Do you know who that is? No idea?
No.
He's a bench player for Carolina. He was a McDonald's All-American last year. Big-time recruit. Big time. Pick him up. He's been playing in place of John Henson when Henson's been hurt. He's been doing pretty well.
I don't follow Carolina basketball that much. I'll just throw it out there.
But it's just the fact that he's thinking somebody that's been a bench player for Carolina is going to go number 7. That's unreal. He had 5 Carolina players going in the lottery.
Wow.
It's Harrison Barnes, Tyler Zeller, John Henson, Michael McAdoo, and Kendall Marshall. If Kendall Marshall declares for the draft.
Right.
Yeah, that's unreal. Austin Rivers he was not in that class.
I don't think
and he definitely needs to go back. What I don't understand is I think Duke's going to really fall off next year, especially if Austin Rivers leaves.
Yeah, Austin was a big spark for that team this year.
If he's not there, I think it's safe to say that they'll be, I don't know, third in the ACC,
fourth.
I mean, I think State's going to be better, especially with the type of recruiting class that they get.
I am so happy for them. They've been pretty much the middle of the pack, bottom feeders in the ACC for so many years. Now they're trying to kind of like the cream rising to the top.
They're finally getting back to some glory, and
I like it for them.
Yeah,
I like it for the city of Raleigh.
Great for them. Now tonight, I'm gonna say Carolina wins.
Yeah,
and
I'll buy that pick.
You know what?
I want NC State to win.
I'm going to say State wins. I don't.
That's
where I'm going to put it.
Let's put it this way. Kansas lost to Davidson at home. I'm just doing this from a Charlotte perspective.
Right.
We beat Davidson by 23 at home. I know it was a rivalry game.
Yeah.
But Kansas has shown that sometimes they falter.
Right, and they certainly can. But if I'm putting money on it, I'll say Kansas wins.
Right, but I'm not a betting man.
Yeah, we're not betting people. So I'm going to say I'll go with State.
Travis, I think we're pretty much going to say the same picks. I'm going to say State, and I was going to say Carolina.
Baylor beat Xavier. Kentucky's going to beat Indiana, which I think is going to be a wicked good game.
Yeah.
I really want to watch.
Indiana, man.
Indiana's they gave Kentucky their first loss.
Yeah, Indiana's a team that not many people have had going as far as they have in this tournament at the beginning of the season.
No, but
that's the
Cody Zeller is unreal.
Yeah, you think he's better than his brother?
Yes.
I do too.
And he's only 18.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
I remember that State.
That's not fair.
No.
It's like, what are we doing with our lives?
Yeah, right. He's good, man. I like when I see those young kids, and it makes me feel old. They're 18 or 19.
Hell yeah.
Especially in the NHL. I know this is a sidetrack, but
NHL. Who cares, man?
You don't like hockey? I thought you were from Vermont.
No, I am. Doesn't mean I like hockey.
You should, man.
There's like 12 people in the state that likes hockey.
Hey, man. I love hockey. Josh Carpenter does too. I know he's listening.
But I'm getting some feedback here on my Kentucky pick, and I'm sticking by it, man. I don't think Indiana, when they beat Kentucky by 1 at the buzzer, they were in Indiana.
What's your
Well, my buddy here is saying Indiana over Kentucky. Indiana already won once. Are they going to pull it off again? Well, I guess he's not giving me flack. He's just asking.
He's just asking a question.
I don't think Indiana pulls it off again. I think Kentucky is well the favorite for good reason. I think
this might be the year that Calipari might.
I mean, they have the horses.
Yeah,
they have the horses.
Horse in the stable. They can do it.
And I think this
the Hoosiers have a chance, though. I mean, there's
they're
definitely
a good
chance.
team.
Yeah,
but I think this is Calipari's year finally.
Yeah, I do too. And people give Calipari a lot of flack for the thing at UMass and then over at Memphis, but I mean, it happens. It's college athletics,
right? Yeah, it's dirty. Let's be real.
There's skeletons in everybody's closet.
But I definitely see Indiana giving them a wicked good game. But I think it's Kentucky's year.
I do too.
I think it is. So good for them. But getting more into Calipari, a good little segue into this. Shaka Smart is turning down Illinois.
Yeah,
which was going to give him $2 million a year. And I have this feeling like he turned down something last year too, but I can't quite remember.
I think he did. If anybody's listening,
look that up while I talk about this.
Yeah.
Shaka Smart, he turned down Illinois, which really isn't as great a job as it probably was 5 years ago.
But it's an opportunity.
Right, back in their Darren Williams days.
Right.
And but still, it's a bigger job than VCU. But he loves VCU. He says he's happy there, wants to stay there. He knows he's happy. He likes the situations he's in, which a lot of coaches do.
Right, yeah.
And part of me wants to be like, no, good for you for having that loyalty. But come on, man. Want something bigger. Take on a new challenge. Does that make any sense?
No, that makes plenty of sense. I can't seem to find the article from last season. Wish I type in Shaka Smart turns out offer 2011 or something like that.
Yeah, try that. But it's just I would really like for him to take on a bigger job, and I almost feel like
hey, here it is. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
Yeah,
I found it. He turned down NC State. That's where it was.
That's right. You're right.
NC State. Yeah, Sporting News had that. So yeah, NC State.
No, I think it's almost as commendable to have that loyalty, but at the same time, I think it's kind of cowardly to not take on something new.
It's almost like he's just satisfied.
Yeah, why are you satisfied with being the best team in the Colonial Athletic Association?
I feel like he feels like he has a a payment to the fans of Virginia Commonwealth. I don't know. I respect the man. I mean,
of course,
it's very humble. It's pretty humble.
Yeah, but I mean, if they won a national title this year and he did this,
that's another story.
That's something else. It's kind of like.
But he brought him to the Final Four last year. So.
But the Butler head coach, what the hell's his name?
Oh God,
I forget. But anyways,
well, Butler,
them doing that well, Butler and him staying there, he got job offers all over the place.
Yeah.
So that I understand you want to stay there because your
team's succeeding.
Yes, you're a perennial, really, really good. Granted, they weren't this year just because they didn't have the same type of players.
Yeah.
But, you can compare this to that situation. Coach at Gonzaga's been there forever.
Yep.
He's not trying to go anywhere, but I don't know. He's made them. And I think Shaka Smart's trying to do the same thing, but
I respect it. I just
move on to something bigger because VCU is not.
That's not.
I don't know. It's not a big time job.
And a lot of people say that these coaches that take jobs in the CAA or A10 always have that stepping stone aspiration.
They should.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand that. That's okay. I don't think Alan Major should be satisfied with working at Charlotte.
No.
I think if at UNC Charlotte, which would be great, would finally, return to prominence, and he moved on. He earned it.
Yeah.
Shaka Smart has earned the opportunity to go. He's also earned the choice to stay.
Yep.
But man, just I think it's almost cowardly.
Yeah, I do too. But respect the man for his humble roots.
I do.
That's what I'm saying. I'm respecting the man for him being humble and not. I don't know. I don't think it's him being satisfied. I think it's just like he feels like he owes the community something. He's been doing well. That might be. Maybe he feels such a strong tie to the university that he feels like he needs to stay.
But
it's a business.
It's $2 million.
It's a business, though.
Granted, he's getting a good money there too, but
money isn't everything, though.
But here's my Calipari remark: is that some people think he's turning down this job, thinking that Calipari is going to make the jump to the NBA and the Kentucky job's going to be open.
Right. Ooh, that's a good point.
Now, if Calipari, which The only place I would see him going is New York Knicks, which I think that's the talk. Since D'Antoni's gone, I think
Yeah, but
the
what's
Knicks,
his name's doing pretty well as he took over.
No, yeah, but it's New York. They're going to make a push for Phil Jackson or John Calipari, I think. Now, if either one of them goes there, that's yet to be seen. But if Calipari goes to New York and Shaka Smart gets offered the Kentucky job, then I'll get off his back. But I don't know if he's really. I don't know if he's that yet. I don't know. I don't know if he's a Kentucky coach.
That's a good question, but Kentucky might just see, hey, he did take a team to a Final Four from a CAA team. Imagine what he could do with the talent that Kentucky brings in on a yearly basis. I don't know. That's an NBA factory for players, is Kentucky.
Right.
What's his name? I think Kid
Calipari's an NBA factory.
That's true. He's the foreman of that factory. But
man, I really like John
I do
Calipari.
too.
Now I think there's some dirty used car salesman in him.
But hey, you need that in college.
But hey, there's just something about him like, God, whenever you talk, I like what you say.
Yeah, he's easy on the ears.
I mean, he can look at me and be like, you know what, son? I don't think you're a very attractive young man. But he'll say in a way, I'm like, you know what?
You're right, John.
You know, you are. I am hideous.
Hey, by the way, I saw that commercial you were talking about during the NCAAs with the
car sales, the recruiters.
Yeah, that was funny. I'm sorry. I just thought I'd say that.
You thought about Camry, son? That's the best 3-point turn I've ever seen.
Yeah, I love that.
Those are good ones.
Those are great. But
we're gonna take another quick break. Actually, no.
You don't want to?
No.
I'm ready to go. If you want to keep going.
Ready to go? Yeah. Let's. I have some more NCAA stuff, man.
All right,
I don't know why I jumped the gun on that one.
Yeah, well, safety. I hope you didn't leave us.
No,
we're still here.
Speaking of the NCAA tournament, Brittany Griner is all of a sudden getting all kinds of attention. Brittany Griner. If you don't know who Brittany Griner is, she's the 6'8" center for Baylor, the women's team, and she is dominant. She's unreal for a female basketball player, and she dunked in a game the other night, and it's the second time any female has ever dunked in the tournament. The first one was Candace Parker.
Yep, Candace Parker.
And it's such a big deal now where I don't think it should be a big deal. Have you seen this girl?
She's a big woman.
She's 6'8". I watched the sports
7-foot wingspan.
According to Sports Science, she has a longer wingspan than Andrew Bynum and bigger hands than LeBron James.
That's unreal.
Yeah. Yeah, LeBron James and Bynum themselves are unreal, but now you're trying to tell me that there's a girl
that's like a crossbreed
who's even more unreal, and I think she should be dunking more often. Why is she just now dunking? If I was her, I'd be slamming on girls left and right.
Is dunking just socially unacceptable to the female sport? I mean,
I don't know. I would be slamming fools left and right.
Like we were talking about unwritten rules in the NFL. Is it just one of those things where you just don't do it to show up on our team? I mean, what was the quote she had? Don't come in my paint or something like that?
I watched the Sports Science, and they were talking about how unreal she is, and they showed her blocking shots, and she comes over to the camera, and this is literally her voice. She's like, don't come in my paint. Don't come in my paint. It was the deepest voice I've ever heard on a female. Now, I understand that she's probably tall, and there's probably things behind it, but I don't know. It kind of made me think. Like said a little Joanna man in her. I don't know.
It made me think, man. But I don't want to knock the girl. I don't want.
Oh no! I mean, it's mind-boggling.
It is. I mean, the fact that she's so tall in stature and just her wingspan is huge. Her hands are bigger. I mean, I don't have big hands.
No, her hands are like two of our hands. She grabbed
my hand like 4 times. I mean, look at the size of these. But
it's a nice mitt you got there.
Thanks, man. I still wear small adult mediums or mediums in gloves. But anyways, no, that's a big girl.
She is a big girl. But we're going to take another quick break here. We'll come back. We have some UNC Charlotte notes to get into. Big news in basketball. Talk a little bit about the baseball team. They're having a hard time. But we'll be right back in about 5-6 minutes. Stick here. Welcome back into the Friday Sports Fix here on Radio Free Charlotte. I'm Travis Turkey sitting alongside Ed and Nizer.
And we're back, and we're still on the college basketball.
Still on college basketball, yeah. Well, I'm going to drop a little promotion here for us real quick. Feel free to get us on our Facebook page, the Friday Sports Fix. You can get to it, like our page. You can talk to us while during the show. We'll give you a little bit of feedback. Let us know what's going on.
We love that.
Yeah, man. Bring it on. Telephone number for the studio, 704-687-7151. Give us a call if you have something to say. If you can't get on a computer, which would not make a whole lot of sense. No, you're listening to us on computers.
We appreciate everybody that actually has.
Yes, this is awesome.
It's been great. Yeah, but we got some retweets out there. It's awesome.
The more the better. Guys. You can find me on Facebook, not Facebook, on the Twitter, on that there Twitter.
As I call it, the Twitter.
It's at Travis Durkee. That's with a capital T and a capital D. There's no underscore or anything in there. It's just one big ugly word.
That's cool. Mine's a big. There's an underscore in the middle. It's at Nizer_Nation49. Nizer spelled Niser. Nation. Yep. You should know how to spell that. At NizerNation49. Tweet us, and I know a couple of our followers have. Pete Hurdle, Michael Mitchell retweet us to their followers. That's cool. Hopefully those people are listening in.
All right, we're going to get a little here, some Charlotte notes. The big news story of the basketball program, even though the season's done, disappointing season, but apparently Jamar Deuce Briscoe is transferring out of Charlotte.
Yeah, I don't know if a lot of people saw that, but...
No, not at all. It's big news. You know, it's no other way to say it. He was a starter. I was expecting to have him back next year holding down the two guard. But to be completely honest with you, they're probably... He wasn't a whole lot to the team this year.
No, I mean he was one of those guys that this year I felt that he came off the bench a lot at the beginning of the year and provided a little bit of a spark from, you know, he hit a couple 3-pointers and the team really needed him to, you know, set the tempo a little bit, get him back into it. But this team was trailing way too, you know, early in games, and it's always more energy expended when you're trying to come back from a big deficit.
Right. Well, because I mean, a couple years ago he was a starting point guard, and he flourished as the point guard. But you know, Perrier Henry took his spot, pushed him over to the 2 guard,
Henry.
And he's not a 2 guard. He's an undersized 2 guard. He's a scoring point guard, and he's just kind of a minute eating 2 guard.
Yeah, that's a great point. And you know, Henry is gonna be the face of this program for years to come. I think he proved himself as a freshman. He really did.
Yep.
He's got a lot of the intangibles that you like to see in a player, and he showed that he can make an immediate impact coming in. And now some of these recruits coming in Lester and the other ones, bring those in with a young nucleus of players. And, you know, there's still some players left over and be pretty good next year. I think it's good for this program. With Perrier Henry, but Deuce Briscoe, I don't know.
There's something going on.
There is something going on that we don't know about.
You know, because the story. No, David Scott had it on Charlotte Observer blog.
His mom,
and you know the Alan Major, was that his quote? Alan Major saying they're trying to find somewhere for him to go. Pull up
I can pull it up. Yeah,
I thought you still had it up. But anyways,
I had it up, and then
apparently
emails, but
David Scott got in touch with Briscoe's mom, who had a completely different take than what the basketball offices gave to the Observer.
Right.
And a Major was like, we just wanted Deuce to find a situation that would make him happy. And Deuce's mom says, the coaches told my son that they could not make him happy.
Yeah.
That's just kind of conflicting, and it's, I don't know, like a lot of people said, and he seemed like he wanted to be here. He seemed like he genuinely enjoyed being a 49er. And it doesn't seem like something Briscoe would have done.
Yeah, I have the exact quote from Coach Major. Head coach Alan Major. It came down to us wanting to be able to help Deuce find a place where he can be the happiest.
Yeah, right. And what did Deuce's mom say?
Well, his mother said, my son was told by the coaches that they couldn't make him happy.
And that's
simple quote, but it says a lot.
Simple quote, but yeah, they're very conflicting quotes. It's like
what's going on? Like, I don't know what.
There's something not being said here, and I'm sure there's a lot of things that we're not.
I know Josh made a comment saying, you know, he didn't think you would transfer. You know, as we said, I'm going to plug Josh again. He's on the 49er, the Niner Report at Rivals.com for Yahoo. Does all the recruiting stuff on football, basketball. Does a great job at it. He pretty much does it one-handed, so good job to him. Produces the site, writes everything. But he had to say, from speaking with him for 2 years, he really cared about the program and his team, and he wanted to find a way to get better.
So basically, it seems like the departure was involuntary.
That's what he's saying. That's what Josh is saying.
And that's it in a nutshell.
That's
and it's just kind of,
Josh.
Yeah, we appreciate the feedback, but you know, he's right. I mean, it just doesn't. I don't think anybody really saw this coming.
I was talking to friends last night. I had a couple of my buddies over, and we were talking about it, and they all said the same thing. We didn't expect them to leave.
And it makes you wonder if this is a sign of things to come with other players that were Bobby Lutz recruits.
Yeah, and you know,
granted, I think he's probably one of the last ones. I mean, Braswell's still here.
But does KJ leave?
Does anyone care?
I don't know. That's the question. Does KJ leave though? He was one of those recruits and one of Bobby's guys.
Wasn't he disgruntled a couple weeks ago? There was something going on Twitter where they don't like the coaching style.
Yep. Remember I told you about that? I think it was something. Yeah, I think it was KJ saying that, and then I don't know. There's
Braswell's sister, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Braswell's sister. Yeah.
Does KJ stay? I mean, if he goes, you know, it's stay or go. It's
I don't know. It's
I don't care.
I'm wondering if it's going to be one of those things where it's a domino effect.
It could be, and it doesn't look good for the program. And it's just
No.
kind of gives 49er bashers more fuel.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, I don't know, it's always a risky situation, especially with the comment that Mr. Carpenter said about the whole
Mr. Carpenter.
Mr. Josh Carpenter.
Is that your dad?
That's my buddy. It's Mount Ginger, baby. But anyways, no, he said there might be some other stuff going on. I think what he's alluding to is those players are usually very close. And as we saw when Major took over, there's kind of like a resistance factor because
Right.
there's a new guy coming in. It's like the same as a child having a foster parent come in or something like that.
Indeed.
And they kind of rebel at first, but they kind of ultimately fall, fall, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully it's not a sign of things to come.
I hope
mean,
not, but if it is,
because he wasn't like a cancer to the team. He wasn't a troublemaker. He wasn't somebody that ran
he
his
was
mouth.
quiet, just kind of
he was there. He took care of what he had to do, and just played basketball. He wasn't outspoken. He wasn't a Shamari Spears. That was just
craving attention.
Yeah, just a cancer to the team.
Yeah.
But he's gone. He's probably going to be in D2 somewhere, so he can keep playing.
D2. Some people have thought maybe he'd go lower D1. I don't know, like maybe a SoCon kind of school or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really wish the best for Deuce. I think he could flourish in some other program.
I wish I could know what was going on.
I do too, and but like I said before, once you start digging into, this closets of some of these, it's not like any school. There's some stuff that you don't want to find out. I'm not saying Charlotte has black marks in their program. They could not. Any school does,
Yeah.
I don't want to say, but it could happen. There could be anything out there, and you never know. You never know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll look into that. That's something definitely look into.
It sucks for Deuce though.
Yeah. Another 49er note. Baseball team's in action again this weekend against Rhode Island. They're on the road. They'll be on the road for the next couple weeks.
Yeah, we won't be down to the Hayes for quite a bit. But
hopefully them hopping back into Atlantic 10 play will help pad that record a little bit more.
Yeah, they've had a tough go of things, and
they started the season 9-3, then they lost 7 of their next 8.
Yeah, it's been rough.
With that one victory coming over USC Upstate, which I don't know, that's really not something to hang your hat on.
No, USC Upstate was 11-1 coming into that game, and they stopped them cold in their tracks. But I'm pulling up the stands for baseball. I'm trying to at least, but
well, I mean they're just now starting play really.
Well, I'm just trying to see what the I think Rhode Island was towards the top, if I remember. Middle of the pack, a little below Charlotte with their overall record. 7-11. So Charlotte should be able to handle the
hopefully
Rams.
So, because I think...
And the weather's been good up in the Northeast, I hear, too, from my family. So
oh, yeah?
It hasn't been cold like it usually is in Rhodey at this time of the year. So
no good.
It's unseasonably warm, so they should be okay.
But I'm worried about this team, especially after, they lost 3 to Missouri.
Yeah.
And then they lost 3 to Dallas Baptist. It's not... It's scary.
And I think a stat line that I saw, if I remember correctly, it was somewhere around 12 or so runners left on base. There's in that Dallas Baptist game 2.
Yep.
That's not something you like to see because they had the base load a couple times and they only cashed in on. They only had 3 runs, and one of those runs came out to play on a walk.
Yeah.
So when you have 3 runs on 9 hits, that's just poor. That's poor. I don't know how.
I hate it. What worries me with the team, they're clearly a good team when it comes to playing.
Right.
Winthrops and Wagners and stuff like that. But this team, they're not. This is a team that went to a regional last year. This is a team that has the expectations of going there again.
Yeah.
You have a preseason All-American pitcher.
You got Shane Brown back, who was out a lot of the season, like 23 games with a hand injury. He's
right,
back.
And you have your other 3 pitchers were our former freshman All-Americans. I mean, you have a good team,
man.
and if you have to be able to beat the good teams.
Yeah.
It's all good and well if you can take down, St. Peter's and High Point and all that.
And head coach Lauren Hibbs, well, we didn't take that High Point on the road, but they beat us at the beginning of the year. But head coach Lauren Hibbs, he put together his schedule because he wanted his boys to be tested. He wanted them because he knows his team, the capability of this ball club. He wanted his team to be tested, and everybody keeps saying the A-10s win those conferences where you absolutely have to win that conference tournament. That bid, but... It's going to be interesting this weekend. It really is, and
I'm just not used to seeing a 49ers baseball team being 500.
And they're 1-4 on the road. That's tough. The only win they have on the road was against Winthrop.
Well, I guess it's a good thing they're at home most of the year.
Yeah, it's it's going to be tough, man. It really is for this team. But I think they have. I like them hitting their I guess hitting their rough patch here at the beginning of the season because it gives them a lot of time.
Yeah,
to
get out of your system. See, I talked to Coach Hibbs after their last loss to Dallas Baptist. I'm like, is it good to play these teams now before you jump into Atlantic 10 play? Is it kind of a wake up call?
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah,
of course he did. I don't know. Hibbs never really tells you too much.
That's good. I like that from Coach. Yeah, not as a media member, but as a fan.
As a fan, yeah. I mean, he's like we're competitive. He's like that's what we take from it. It's not like we got our doors blown off. But in some games against Missouri, they kind of did get their doors blown off, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, Lauren does a good job with these boys. I can almost see him being the kind of coach. He's kind of quiet on the field and during like post game interviews and stuff. Yeah. But when he goes in there, I bet you he tries to light a fire on them and try to tell them, guys, what's going on.
They need to. I mean, he's like, we're all frustrated, but it's just, they're playing good teams, and I want them to be able to beat the good teams.
Yeah,
it's almost discouraging seeing. It's like, yeah, oh, great, we beat USC Upstate. It's just, right. But I want to see these wins against these.
This is an interesting stat, Travis. Schools. I mean, from last year, I remember the stat line on the starters' earned run average being, low twos, high ones, and now it's a 3.78 earned run average, which is
the pitching's been kind of disappointing.
It's been disappointing because it's the same staff.
There's really no reason for it to be slumping.
And what I've seen from the pitchers here at Charlotte, I mean, they're not. I don't think they're mixing pitches the way they should. Like in some situations where you got a 1-2 count, you got a couple waste pitches. Why not try to go with that curveball down and away to get in the chase?
Right.
But they always come back with a curveball inside, trying to jam them on the hands, respectable, or come back with a fastball and the kid just deposits it in the left field. It's all pitch count, mixing your pitches, and you know how to do it, know how to work. But player that's been impressed me has been Wes Hatley. He's been doing really well.
Wes Hatley's been doing well. I mean, there's a lot of
there's guys you can say they've been doing well, but there's some that they aren't living up to potential. I can name drop all day.
Name drop.
I mean, Shane Basin, a kid he's been really good for this program.
He's been an error machine.
He's been churning out errors more than a car company churns out cars on a daily basis. I mean, he's been. I don't know.
I'm kind of disappointed with him.
I really am because he's been a good player.
Justin Seeger's finally coming on a little bit. Man. I think he's going to start.
He's a heck of a defensive player too.
Yep, he's a good first baseman.
Yeah, Corbett Shive is playing well.
Shive's been doing well.
What's
the deal with Steedley? I meant to ask Ryan Rose.
Oh, Steedley's back. He's back and playing.
Where was he?
His ankle was injured. He's injured his ankle.
No, he needs to stay healthy.
Ross injured his ankle, I think, at the Missouri series where he sprung down the base paths. It was I think it was wet a little bit, and that's what happened.
It's hard to imagine you get hurt running that slow.
Yeah, I mean, he's a catcher, so he's a catcher. You're going to come some flack. But, I mean, I like big old Russ, and he's a character, too.
Yeah, they need to turn it around.
They will. I think they will.
I mean, conference play, I know Atlantic 10 isn't a very, very heavy baseball conference.
No, it isn't. But you do have those teams that are decent, such as Richmond, but we don't play them this year. I don't believe. Last look at schedule, I don't think they play Richmond. No, they don't. But they played St. Louis, has been top of the crop this year. But St. Louis really hasn't played anybody to start the season. They've got most wins, but they really haven't played many out-of-conference games that are worth writing home about. But looking at the conference schedule, Charlotte's got Rhode Island for a 3-game set this weekend, and they go out after that to play USC Upstate, just kind of a little brief midweek meeting. And then Xavier at home. That's pretty much the start of April, end of March 30th to the April the 1st. And High Point comes back in for that return game. Mm-hmm. And then you got Dayton, who is a pretty decent team, Temple, St. Joe's, and then they round up the year with St. Louis at home, and they St. Bonaventure travels here at the end of the season.
All right.
So, I mean, they can win these conference games.
Without a doubt, yeah. Without a doubt. I fully expect them to.
They won't win them all because that's how baseball works. That's why you play a 3-game set.
Exactly.
But I expect them to take serious, at least 2. Maybe lose 1 here and there. St. Louis, always a hard team to play. They have always given Charlotte headaches.
Exactly. Well, we're going to get here to our final news and notes the way we always do on the show. Spend the last couple minutes of the show running through a couple little things. First off, Dwight Howard decided he's not going to opt out of his contract in Orlando. What do you think about that?
Hey, I mean, he wants to stay in Orlando. He's been successful there. The fans like him. Why not?
Yeah, I think it's very commendable on his part. I don't understand why he waited so long to say he wasn't going to opt out.
I think he was trying to test the waters to see what people were offering him.
Yeah, there's way too much of a circus around it, though.
Dwight Howard is the media circus.
Well,
In the door. Remember when he came and played the Bobcats? All the Magic fans that showed up.
Oh, I mean, it's fans always turn out for the other team at Bobcats games. Who goes to a Bobcats game for the Bobcats anymore?
Rufus.
Rufus. No, Bobcats. No, Bobcats finally.
They're trying to win a few more.
They finally booted Boris out of the door.
Wow. Yeah, what's going to happen to his restaurant? At the center. I remember when I was doing a blog, I was working for a blog site covering the Bobcats. First thing Boris says, you should try my restaurant. Yep, so I'm unpaid.
Which one's his restaurant?
Mortimer's?
Mortimer's is his?
Yeah.
He probably eats everything there, probably. He keeps them afloat because he eats so damn much.
Probably, and good riddance.
Yeah, good riddance, Boris. Man, he was really disappointing. A skill set that never got utilized the way it should.
Yep.
Hopefully it's good for the team. Free up a little space. Chipper Jones, Atlanta Braves, great, retiring at the end of the year. Sad for a lot of folks around here.
I mean, I always like that. It makes me feel old, Travis. It really does.
Yeah, I mean, this is a guy we grew up like. Yeah.
Chipper Jones, man. I remember the old the Wheaties box with Chipper Jones in the front. They like sent over like baseball cards and stuff like that on the back.
Right.
Oh man, Chipper Jones. That brings back memories because the Braves were one of those teams that are broadcast all over the country, and everybody's seen them because of Ted Turner. And all
yeah, and you gotta love Chipper, man.
Chipper's a good old boy.
He is a good old boy.
Good old country, Dwayne Jones.
It's just stuff like that.
Yeah.
Things that makes you feel old. Like I remember when I first, really started rooting for Derek Jeter in his rookie year in '96.
Yeah, man.
People say he's 38 years old. I'm like, holy God.
We're only like 22, 23, but now
It's
we're
like,
players
God,
we grew up watching.
38. You forget that they age too.
Yeah. It's tough to see.
So he's gone and
19 years in the league.
he's been here a minute.
He's got a World Series championship as well, but I mean, I'd like to see him retire on top.
No, yeah, he was a hit machine too, my man.
Yeah.
But tell us a little bit about the Red Sox Yankee stuff. I know we have our Red Sox Yankees rivalry here in the studio.
But
so
I
let's.
can't stray away from it. Bobby Valentine was a little upset. Game ended in a 4-4 tie after 9, and the rules in the Grapefruit League, you can go one more extra inning. So, I mean, and then the Yankees, Joe Girardi and his staff just kind of walked off the field. The team just walked off the field. Usually the umpires would come and convene at home play and say, "You guys want to play an extra inning?" "Ah, we're good," But the whole thing was, Boston had a player up in the bullpen, and it's a time to reevaluate. What do you think about that? I mean, it's time to reevaluate. It's spring training. Give the guys as much work as they can.
Right. I mean, if that's how it really happens. See, I don't know. You're the one that told me about this. Like I said, I don't have cable, and I'm not allowed to watch
I might
my
be
TV.
biased because I'm a Red Sox fan.
Well, you probably are biased.
Yeah, I mean,
granted, that's okay. Now, from a Yankee standpoint, I gotta know why. What I don't know is, did they just go and did they think the game was done, and then they asked them to come back out
No, there was no asking to come back out. I mean, you saw the boys packing up their bags and walking in the clubhouse.
after 9 innings?
Yep.
Did they know they wanted to? Did they know the Red Sox wanted to play 10 innings?
The Red Sox put the guys on the field. They were warming up. The Red Sox were out there doing pre-inning warm-ups.
No, I mean that's one of those things. Like maybe they didn't see it. I gotta know more. I need like quotes.
Yeah.
I need like to sit down with Girardi and be like, "Hey, bro,
Everybody's saying Bobby Valentine's the guy that looks for media. Maybe that's, I don't know.
yeah, Bobby Valentine. I still
You don't agree with it?
not a huge Bobby V fan,
I'm okay with it, but
oh well. Anyways, we're gonna get out of the studio here. I know
we've been here. God, we went 8 minutes over. That's 9 minutes.
Heaven forbid. I know.
Good
So
thing
we've
we're not
been
paying
here.
for airtime.
Well, we appreciate everybody listening in. Thanks for the little bit of feedback we got on Facebook. Hopefully we can get more on next week's show. You should always tune in Fridays 12 to 2.
Small victories, man.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yes,
man.
you
Take
can,
what we
so-
can get. Watch. Watch some basketball. Where are you watching the games tonight?
I'm watching at my place, man. I'm not pretty low key.
Your place?
Yeah, you want to come over and watch?
I need to figure out somewhere to go. I might have to go
come on over,
I
dude.
might have to go to the bar.
Oh, all right. Well,
Anybody out there want to go to the bar with me?
he has no friends.
It's been,
Yeah, he has no friends.
What the hell, man?
Well, you're trying to get somebody to go to the bar with you? I mean, come on, man.
Probably the one person that would go to the bar with me is somebody I've told before that they have no friends. That's to you, Tyler. If you're out there still listening, my man, I appreciate it.
I don't know, Tyler.
You know,
that's cruel.
He knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, I'll probably go to the bar. I'm definitely taking Carolina tonight.
Okay.
State tonight. But we'll figure it out, man.
Yeah, we'll come back next week.
This is gonna be fun, man. We'll have Final Four talk next week.
Yeah, all about it.
Final Four talk.
Hey guys, we're gonna get out of here though. But have a great week, great weekend. Stay safe. Enjoy the games.
Again, I'm Travis Turkey.
I'm Ed Nazareth. Take
We'll
care,
see you
everybody.
next
Until
week.
next
See
time.
ya.